right, there we go. So, it's been a couple of weeks, but the last thing that happened to you all is after a fight within the sewers, a quick, um, a quick hour after finding your lost party member, Yotev, the lot of you followed Beauregard Lionette deeper into the sewers of Zadash, fought an Otiug and a series of acidic methods, ooze methods to be specific, and after defeating the Otiug, a tear in space ripped through the cistern down in the old sections of the sewer, and one by one, you all jumped through. After jumping through, you landed in a space between, not a plane of existence, not the astral sea, but rather a section within a void that spans the gap between them. And in so finding yourself there, you found a large prison, effectively, with some sort of strange object inside. As you were the first ones to arrive, other entities were able to find their way to this prison for the first time in thousands of years. Whatever this powerful object is, you freed it and escaped with it, narrowly escaping with all of your lives. As you stumbled back into the sewers, Kenji held aloft this item, and as he did, the tear was overrun with magic power and ripped itself apart. As you fled through the tunnels, 3 city blocks have dropped and been destroyed as a result of the unleashing of this item without fully knowing what it is and how to control it.
Because that's what we do.
Chaos Crew.
And you found yourselves back in the city streets of Zadash, with a lot of breath, panting, but safe.
Well, we think we're safe. For all we know, Kenji's going to destroy the entire world and take everybody's soul.
Two things happen in this moment. First is that Bo takes a beat and starts to look around to find a group of Zadash guards making their way towards this massive collapse of a section of a city. And she begins to lead the effort in getting people out and taking care of folks. She has left you all to your own devices, knowing that you are safe, and has elected to leave you alone for a moment in order to collect yourselves as well. She is fully taking a lead as a leader of the Cobalt Soul and member of the city in an attempt to save as many lives as she can. So you have this moment alone, but there's a second thing that does occur at this exact moment. You all look around, and Aiden, you are the first to realize this with your passive perception, but everyone is radiating a little bit of this strange aura. This, almost excess energy, one that matches the item that Persai, fucking Kenji, is holding in his hand. I will forever do that.
It's my actual name now. I changed it in D&D Beyond. It's fucking Kenji.
Fucking Versailles.
Yeah,
Let's
fucking Kenji, dude.
do this the fun way. 1,
The
2,
fun
3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do it with a D6. Lady Brittany.
What?
There are 2 sudden changes that happen that you recognize as you're sort of looking down at yourself as you move. There's almost like an after image of where your hand was, as there's just this weird tracing of the residual energy that came off of that blast. I would like... let me pull up the list, actually.
Sort me die out.
I would like for you to please add the feat Cosmic Sense to your character sheet.
Oh,
You can choose to read
Zam.
that out if you would like.
man, it's free. Once per day, you can spend a minute to perform a ritual and that allows you to peer into the history or potential. This is so off-brand. Future of an object no longer larger than the size category huge or area of 30 feet by 30 feet. When the ritual is complete, you gain the following information about an item or area within the last week, potential future within the next week. When defining an object's past, you learn where it has been, who has handled it, and if it has been used in the time frame. When foretelling the future of an object, you can see where the object will go. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Who will handle the item, and if the item will be used. If the item is used during the period of time you observe, you can roll an Arcana check to attempt to reconstruct the circumstances of the object's use. Interesting. Area. When defining an area's history, you learn who has been in the area, what they did in that area, and how long they remained there. For telling information about an area, you know who will likely pass through the space, when they will most likely pass through, and what they will are likely to do when they get there. Should a conversation take place in that area during the time period you observe, you can roll an Arcana check to attempt to reconstruct what was said. The future is ever changing due to the choices people make at every second. When foretelling the future, you do not get a perfectly accurate account of the future. Instead, you gain a vision of the most likely outcome based off the trillions of possible futures that exist. There is a small chance that the information you receive will not come to pass. That's cool as fuck.
Additionally, if you go to your inventory, you can add a Cosmic Tarot deck. And if you would like, I can read that out for you, or you can read it yourself.
No, you can.
Okay. This deck is a standard 78 tarot card deck themed after the stars, cosmos, and heavenly bodies. When held up, the image on any given card begins to move, depicting swirling galaxies, animated constellations, meteor showers, and more. When attuned to this deck, you gain a +1 to your spell attack bonus and your spell save DC. In addition, when you finish a long rest, you can attune yourself to the magic of one of the major arcana cards. You can only attune yourself to one card at a time, and when you attune to a new card, you lose the effect of the old card that you were already attuned to. You have the options of the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Chariot. And you can read what those do on your own. I feel like those should be...
Yeah.
Those are for you.
Yeah. Oh.
Cool.
Let me go ahead and roll another
That
D6.
really, okay, not to make a comparison to another game, but that really sounds like, your sign in Elder Scrolls. Like, you go to the Star Stones and your sign stones, and then you get that bonus. Oh, yeah. That's what that sounds like.
Except portable.
It requires
Except portable, yes. And you can change it daily.
Step. Like I said, you're a little hard, but I think I've come up with a couple of things for you.
Okay.
The first is I would like for you to please add to your feats. Let's see. It is Fragment of a Former Self.
Oh, that sounds so fitting.
You have regained a fraction of a piece of yourself that you lost. You gain proficiency with particular skills, granting you the following benefits. Increase one ability score of your choice by 1 to max 20. You gain proficiency in one skill of your choice. Choose one skill in which you have proficiency. You gain expertise with that skill. And once per day, when you use your knowledge from a past life feature, you can choose to re-roll the d6.
Ooh.
I like that.
Damn.
What's expertise do over proficiency?
It doubles.
So
It doubles
proficiency,
it.
you get to add your proficiency bonus. Expertise, you get to add double your proficiency bonus.
Oh,
Yeah, it's good. Expertise is my good.
Please
Holy
also
shit.
add Fortune's Grace as a feat.
Ooh.
Your Fate Touch essence can cause events to shift in your favor. When you make an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you can choose to re-roll the d20. You must re-roll the die before the outcome of the initial roll is determined. Alternatively, when a creature you can see makes an attack against you or makes a saving throw against one of your spells or features, you can force that creature to re-roll the attack or saving throw. If the roll that triggers a re-roll is made with advantage or disadvantage, both d20s are re-rolled. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
Good God. If I did that for my athletics, my plus bonus would be plus 16.
Dude, my investigation would be so high. Iconic would be so high.
Fragan. This one's interesting.
Kenji.
Unlike everyone else, where they sort of realize these aspects of themselves before anyone else does. Aiden, Cassandra, and Killian, with your passive perceptions, you notice this before Kenji does. You look at Kenji, and he is no longer as broken as he was before. Elements of his physical form have improved dramatically, in fact. Kenji, as you ran through the halls of this underground, collapsing old section of the sewer, unfortunately, it led to the deaths of a lot of people. But for you, that kind of helps a little bit. You no longer have disadvantage on stealth, as your legs and have completely formed into functioning legs. In addition, the rest of you, the thing that you notice is that Kenji has 2 eyes. It seems as though a second eye has formed where the other one was missing. And a special little treat for Aiden specifically, as a gift for having the highest passive perception. You notice a fraction sooner than everyone else, and you could have sworn that before he blinked for the first time, the pupil of the eye was squashed and elongated like that of an octopus before he blinks, and it goes back to a regular pupil. So, Fragan, if you'd like to add an Eldritch Eye as an item to your character sheet.
All right.
Nice.
He is Cthulhu. He is a real boy.
And if you would like, you can either keep that to yourself, read it out loud, or I can read it out loud for you.
This eye is manifested. I'll glaze over it. Gift from an eldritch being, granted you sight beyond a mortal's understanding. When attuned to the eye, you can use an action to cast Detect Magic without expending a spell slot. In addition, you can use an action to cast a spell, See Invisibility. Once you cast the spell, you cannot cast it again until you complete a long rest. It increases my focus and allows land my spells more often, granting me a +1 to my spell attacks.
Eldritch Blast out of an Eldritch
I'm just
Eye,
gonna.
that's
I'll leave the
be
last.
awesome.
I feel like the last part will be a fun treat later on. So I'm gonna leave that.
The last one, I do prefer you keep to yourself.
Yeah. I like that.
I love this game.
Sneaky.
So happy.
6. 6. Varnax. If you could.
Wait, does that mean we're all getting our items at the same time this time?
Not all of your items are appearing right now, no.
Okay.
But the vast majority are.
That's cool. I like that we'll mostly have all of them. That's fun.
If you could add the symbol of the tyrant's favor to your character sheet.
I like
that
that
is
name.
an item to your inventory.
That's a wondrous item.
Oh.
What is this? Now I need to figure out how to open it up and read it. Okay. I don't think I'm going to read this. Because the very first line is, I mean...
Is it so revealing?
Yeah. Well, I'll do while you wear the holy symbol, you gain a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and the saving throw DCs of your spells.
Cool.
While you wear this amulet, you can use a bonus action on your turn to cause spectral dragon wings to briefly sprout from your fucking back.
Wait, it says
allows
fucking
you
back? That's cool.
Yeah.
Doing so allows you to fly up to 30 feet without provoking opportunity. Oh my god. Once you use the feature, you cannot use it again until you complete a short rest. Oh my.
Yo, it's like Christmas here, Snooky.
Yo!
It is
got
like
wings.
Christmas.
You're not the only one that can fly. Little
Michael
fairy.
or Ryan, odds or evens?
I'll go odds.
All right. Odd it is. Ryan, can you
Yes.
please add? Oh shoot! Hold on. I need to add something to this in 2 seconds because I asked you a question for this very reason.
Oh?
Oh.
I can't import the shit. It'll mess up my hit points
Copy.
and spell slots and everything.
Yeah, I'm not touching mine for a minute either, Dad.
Okay, that's
Michael, what's your passive perception?
17.
Stop it! Stop.
Yeah,
42.
17.
You can do that later.
I'm done.
But you leave him alone. He's allowed to multitask.
He's doing
Okay.
Chris.
So,
We're doing D&D. We're having Christmas and D&D right now.
no.
All right, what's Ryan get?
We'll find out in a sec. He's updating it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Sorry.
The
Please
anticipation's killing me.
add a prototype armor core to your inventory.
Let's go.
And again, you
Prototype
can either keep
armor
it to yourself,
core.
read it aloud, or I can read it for you.
I'm gonna add it to my backpack for now. Let's see what it is.
They all require attunement, right?
Most of them do.
Yeah. So we have a lot of us aren't going to be able to use it until we rest.
I kind of want to read it because I think this will be
Go for
fun. So prototype armor core. It's a wondrous item, artifact. Requires attunement by an armor artificer. This prototype armor core is the intellectual property of Yotev Ironsnarf. This piece of proprietary technology belongs to the goblin genius Ironsnarf Innovations. Is in the early stages of development. The armor core can be attached to any piece of non-magical armor with 10 minutes of uninterrupted work. Once attached, the armor becomes magical and gains the following properties and abilities. Enhanced armor plating. You gain +1 to your armor class. Size augmentation. Your armor gains the ability to expand further, protecting you. As a bonus action, you can cause your armor to grow one size category larger, doubling in all dimensions, and multiplying its weight by 8. If there isn't enough room for the target to double its size, the creature or object attains the maximum possible size in the space available for the next 10 minutes. For the next 10 minutes, you have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and your attack deals 1d4 extra damage. Once you use this ability, you cannot use it again until you complete a long rest. Enhanced defensive field. Your defensive field has increased in strength, allowing you to bolster more than just yourself. When you use your defensive field ability, allies of your choice within 10 feet of you also gain temporary HP equal to half your artificer level rounded down. Zam. Big boy Yotev is here.
And last but not least, I have to quickly remember what I've named this, but Michael, please add the Flame Warden's double-bladed scimitar, as your weapon seems to give off a lot of this glow, and is almost hot to the touch.
I feel all special. I got motherfucking one.
What'd you say it was?
The Flame Warden's double-bladed scimitar.
Oh. Ooh, yours isn't wondrous.
Doesn't matter.
The first part of it is just mirroring the Revenant one, right?
Yeah.
To give the feat portion. Okay. So it's a +1 double-bladed scimitar infused with raw magic, allowing it to react to elemental magic in strange ways. This weapon has 3 charges and regains 1d4 -1 charges upon completion of a long rest. Blazing Blade. You know the green flame blade cantrip. In addition, you can choose to expend a spell slot in order to cast this cantrip as a bonus action instead of an action. Turbulent Elemental Magic. You gain access to the spell Absorb Elements. When you take Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, or Thunder, you can use your reaction to cast Absorb Elements and reduce the damage and augment your next melee attack.
Damn.
With that, as the sort of residual arcane magic rolls off of you, each one of you with new aspects either of self or of the items that you've created, now stand in this alleyway as Bo is still yelling out instructions to certain guards. She pulls herself away for briefly enough to go over to all of you and sort of lean down the alleyway and say, if you're able to help, we could use it. Or if you would rather go rest, that's all right. Here. And she hands over a pouch to whoever's out in front.
I'll take it.
Hands over the pouch to you, and actually will take off the goggles on her head and hand them to you as well.
Okay, so goggles and a pouch.
The goggles are goggles of night. They will grant dark vision to anyone who does not have dark vision. If you put them
Who
on.
is that? That's me and
Me.
You and Varnex.
it's
I
just
mean,
us. You can
it's-
have them.
I don't have dark vision either, but I'll pass
Oh
it.
yeah.
They're basically useless. We all have dark vision, surely, right?
No,
Oh.
a lot of
No,
you don't, which
only
is why
3 of
I
us do.
immediately said, all right, we're for sure giving this to you guys. The pouch, as you open up, has 3,000 gold in it. And she just
How much?
hands over 3k gold.
How much is that split between us?
Between the 6 of you, it's
500.
500.
No. The 5 of us, since
What's 6
someone
of us?
stole 600 already
No.
We don't know.
and then lost it.
First off, the party does not know that happened.
That is true.
We do not know, technically speaking,
And none of you know how much is in this.
but we
No, that's true.
we know that you have it, and a 3,000 gold would be a pretty large pouch. So
It's like what? No, it's only like 30 platinum.
depending on how she gave it to you, I guess. Yeah, sure.
300.
I don't think she's
300?
rolling
Oh,
around
yeah, you're
with
right, you're right.
3,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not
whatever. You know what
100?
I'm saying.
It's 10 each? Oh, no, you're right. It's 10 each. Yeah, I'm dumb.
So we would get 5 platinum each. If it's all platinum. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
If I count it out for you.
It'd be 50.
I would like to not have
Yeah.
arguments over gold every time we get gold, please. Please. I would like to be able to spend money. Okay, look, here's us.
Goggles of night, so I get to add those two.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Steph and I don't want them, so you can just have
Oh.
those.
That's fine.
Oh, quick question for DM. The prototype armor core, is that separate from the container of the 2 containers of things I have in my bag?
What do you mean by 2 containers of things?
The green thing, the green flammable liquid, and then the essence that I bottled of the dark
yeah,
orb
those
thing.
are for sure different. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Effectively, what's happened is the you've had this prototype with you the entire time, and you've been working on it, but you just needed a
Oh.
power source. So when that eruption went off, it charged your thing, and it seems to be holding charge with whatever this strange arcane
Cool.
magic is. Now
Just-
you can
just
potentially
wanted
tinker it
to know.
make it more. Yeah.
As a clarification, to be fair for all of the rest of you, these goggles of night will increase your dark vision by an additional 60 feet as well. So it will
That's
give me
fine.
60 feet, but you can
It's
have.
always better for the people who don't have dark vision.
No, I
to be able to
understand.
have it.
I don't
I
need
know.
120 feet of dark vision.
I mean,
you'll
I
get
could
paranoid
I could-
enough.
Yeah, I could use 180 feet, surely.
I'm just
Yeah.
throwing it out there
I
to
appreciate
be
it.
fair.
No, I think you having it makes sense.
Because now I can fucking fly.
The only person who it would make sense more to have dark vision would be me because I don't normally go into the battle. And once you and Step are within range of seeing the thing, you're usually fine. And you don't move
No,
around as much.
But
I am not. I could be standing right next to it and it's still pitch black and I see nothing.
But between me and Ryan, we typically light up an area, so
I have a quick
Yeah.
question, actually. Just just clarifying question. By you don't typically go into the battle. Does that mean usually stay at your sister's house and let us do all the work and then come and visit us, or do you mean do you actually mean showing up for the battle and then actually playing, like rolling for initiative and stuff? Just checking, just for
I feel
clarity.
like when I'm there, I do a lot though.
To bring us back into the scene,
Oh,
Yotev
wow.
is going to look at the power cord that he's been working on for probably a good chunk of his life. That is still a prototype, and now that he's found the power source, he's like in tears a little bit again, just knowing that it's functional.
Barnex is going to clasp his hand over the medallion as he slips it on and stuffs it under his armor, kneel, and say a quick prayer.
Very well done.
Well, this looks like probably the best outcome if you think about it. Are you okay, Yotev? You seem like you're sad.
No, this old man is not sad. Yotev is happy
I'm happy for you.
and quite hungry actually. Yotev has not eaten in real food in a little while.
I'll deduct one of my rations and give it to him for my bag. I have these.
Thank you, Kenji. Yotev would just like to say to everyone that Yotev really appreciates you coming to his aid. There was some dark time in there for a moment.
That's what friends do.
Okay. Can I ask a side clarifying question just so that I understand?
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt emotional things.
You're good.
We went through the portal and then these items magically appeared? Just
No. So for Michael, you, and Yotev, and for Varnax actually, all
Oh,
four
it
of
took
you-
the item that we had and made it
and
better.
made it magic. Yeah.
Got it,
So,
got it, got it.
For example,
Okay.
Michael will need to delete his old one and add the Flame Warden. Same with
My
I guess
tarot.
the others don't really matter because it's the same tarot deck you've always had, but now the cards move and they have the actual magical.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I was just trying to understand what the process was. Was like, can I visually see that Michael's sword is different, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. And then I see Ryan doing all the things and crying his eyes out. We've watched Varnix look at the medallion and put it away, so we know it does look different in some capacity.
At the very least, that he took a special note of it before.
Right.
putting it away. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Continue. I just wanted to understand.
That and Kenji grew an eye.
Yeah.
I've not
Yeah.
noticed actually.
And then Step isn't physically different in any way because he just got His is more internal than external.
Strangely, Step, what is there any visual difference now that you've got a fragment of yourself back? Or do you look the same?
Are you more colored? Like less deadly looking? Are you less
I haven't
zombified?
decided that yet.
You can decide later. That's
Yeah,
okay.
let me come back to me on that, and I'll explain it.
That is,
I'm
that
cool
is
with
an up
that.
to you thing.
And that can be something we can decide, like, at the end if you need, like, more time and just be, hey, by the way, I did look more lively, or I did not. Kind of doesn't have to be a now thing. I just wanted to understand what physically we could see that was different between each of us, because that felt important enough that I just want to take it. Sorry. Continue the role playing.
Stupid chair.
What's the last thing we said?
You were talking about being happy and not sad because you were crying to Ken.
Yes. Yotev is very grateful for all of your help. Honestly, Yotev did not think that he would see light again. So thank you. If there's any way that Yotev can repay you, please do not hesitate.
I mean, what are friends for?
We'll figure something out. You might come in useful when I go to kill some other people.
With this? With this, absolutely.
What does it do?
You'll see.
I will point out for you, Ryan, the specific way I'm making this work is Yotev is not getting bigger. The armor is.
The armor is.
The armor's expanding.
Yeah.
So what that means
that's
is
what I
you're
figured.
still size small, and so you still get Fury of the Small on medium.
That's
creatures.
ridiculous.
Okay, so just think of it. You're in the Hulk Iron Man suit.
Yeah. Also,
That's
then
intense,
question:
yeah.
Is the armor going from small to medium, or is it going from medium to large?
It would technically be going from
small to
to
medium. Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's now like a full medium. It's basically like the shoulders have risen up past your head and have sort of enclosed the top of it somehow. The arms now work. You sort of slipped your arms out of the sleeves as they expand, and you now pull these little handles for you to be able to control the fine.
Hell yeah!
And there are levers inside to activate the things on the arms that you used to have to activate with your own hands. So
Go gadget arms.
Yeah, you're basically controlling it from the inside. Like, this is minor spoilers for TMNT, but this has been out forever. But you're basically like the little thing inside Shredder.
Okay.
Well, and it's a mech. He's a mech.
Little mini mech.
Man's is one step closer to becoming a fucking Pacific Rim.
Your goblin's in a trench coat with a very fancy trench coat.
This is a very fancy trench coat.
I love steps too. I love steps because that's really cool.
They're all
I'm
pretty
excited.
dope.
I'm very, very excited.
Well, I guess, Kenji, you're looking really good. I guess you don't need to ride on my shield anymore. I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
What? I mean, we all got out pretty safe.
Yeah, but you're looking really good. Like, look at that kneecap, man.
Oh.
And you got an eye.
You're almost a real boy.
I mean, if all it takes is like a natural disaster like that, maybe we need to go towards more of those.
Are you saying destroy more of the city?
Well, I'm not like, no, Not per se, but like if there are other rifts that we needed to close, if we just happen to be close by, then
Not per se.
Mm-hmm.
what?
You said not per se, and I was about to make the same joke.
Yeah,
not
not
thinking it as well.
per se.
Yeah, not per se, but yeah, I need to remember to say that from now on.
Oh, quick question for Kenji Fragan. Do you still sound like you've got the echo of Persei in your voice?
He's gonna have a whole bunch of echoes now.
Oh, actually,
And is he
Can you-
actually speaking, or is it still telepathic?
what was that person's name again? I'm gonna use the I. I need to remember that. That's a good question. Yes, a little bit.
You're talking
You can
about
still-
Kryn?
Yes. I made my own Obsidian and I went Visual Studio Code. On D&D notes.
Do you see it?
Do I see what?
Well, thank you, Mr. DM. I'm
I'm
excited.
whispering to Caleb. Caleb understood what I said.
I am not looking at the moment. I will have to fix that in a second.
I'm not
I'm
worried
sure
about
that
it.
there will be multiple because I heard some when Ryan was reading his card.
I'm making the tarot cards as physical cards.
Ooh, awesome.
Fantastic.
So I
this
noticed. I'm
This
sorry.
is sort of designed in a way where if you want to, you can always draw a card at the beginning of the day, but you're not going to be able to pick that way. So you can always just say, nah, fuck it, I picked this one anyway. But you want to draw to see what it would be if you did just a straight draw. You can do that.
Yeah, that's why I'm making the little note cards so I can physically do it. I'm really excited about it. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Well, with that, you are all in the streets of Zadash. There is an open humanitarian crisis in front of you, but if you'd like to turn around and just ignore that, you've got other things you can potentially do with the rest of your day. You are all a little worse for wear.
A lot.
Yeah, it's fine. You're all a little worse for wear, and there's a lot of loose ends to potentially tie up, depending on where you go and what you'd like to try to do.
Okay, so
is
is Bo still standing there?
Bo has gone off to continue.
She's gone.
Help. She basically came around, handed that off to
Yeah.
you guys to give you a reward, and took off again.
The only reason I'm asking is, and this is for clarification to make sure I understand, we were given a job, and I can't remember who it was, to go investigate this. So we probably need to go back and tell them that, and get more loot.
It was Ares, was it?
Arenas, yes.
Arenas.
Yeah.
After we hit the inn, I say we take a short rest, or possibly a long rest.
What time of day is it?
Well, because we were in an extra temperature, time is irrelevant.
Is it the same day?
Yeah.
It's actually a weird soup.
That's my favorite line from D&D ever of all time.
You're probably looking at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys head out in that morning, and then as you've gone through doing things like finding this place, catching up with one another, you took a short rest, you did the fight, you went through the portal, then you ran again, then you got to here, like all that stuff. You're probably looking at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
It's late. It's not super late.
That's not as bad as I thought it was.
I'm
I thought it was gonna be like
gonna-
we return and it's a week later, which we
I'm
don't fully
gonna-
know yet.
ask Varnix what was in the pouch, and then I'm gonna say I'm gonna go help because this is a disaster that we've caused. But I don't care if y'all come with me. But I'm
We
gonna
didn't
go.
cause it.
Yes, we
We
absolutely
did not. No, we did not. We closed it. It was already open.
I'm just gonna gesture to the 3 city blocks that have like gone.
That
I-
wasn't there before.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
That's
we-
not our fault.
Us
Yotev would not have
closing
known.
it-
Yotev was in sewer, and then Yotev come out of sewer.
I think
So-
it
Us
might have been a
closing
new
it
addition.
Cost a whole thing, and sure, us closing the rift is a good thing, but there's still this damage from us doing that. I feel semi-responsible, even if we weren't the cause of the rift opening. So I'm
Alright,
gonna go help
so-
people, but I would like to know what is in the pouch. But I'm gonna go that way.
It's just some pocket change.
How
Are
much
we
are you
splitting
divvying?
Insight check.
that?
Yotev would like to count money that is in pouch.
I don't.
24.
Jesus fuck.
So
do I have to do like
if you
performance or
guys
persuasion?
are wanting to do a opposed roll, considering that I would assume you would not actually consider that to be pocket change, so that would be a deception check.
Well, that one's not as good, but
11's not as good.
no, deception's not as good as.
Oh, I thought you said an 11. I
Persuasion.
was like, no.
Oh, I didn't credit.
I got
No,
a 19
I don't care.
plus 5, whatever that is.
It's Is it in plat? So it'd be 50 plat
Yeah,
each,
for
right?
the ease of it, yeah, 50 plat each.
Well, it would be.
For
Yeah,
500 gold. It's up to y'all.
I don't know.
I'll hand out 50 plat each, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 50 to Brittany, 50 to Aiden, 50 to Killian, 50 to Kenji. That's all. I'm a paladin. I don't. I'm kidding.
Oh, then you didn't divvy it up evenly. Ah, I see. Yotev see.
50 to Yotev.
Yotev knows
Okay,
how math
thanks.
works.
Appreciate you. I'm gonna go that way, and I'm just gonna.
Barnex knows how math works too.
I'm gonna start flying, but as I'm flying, I'm gonna say, "Are you guys? If you're leaving, are you going to the inn so I can find you later?" As I'm still walking away.
Yotev does not quite know where you all have been, so Yotev is going to follow.
I'm gonna sigh and turn back around to the group. Okay, they've been staying at this inn that Brittany, out of character, forgets the name of because it's not her inn.
Well, you don't need
Oh,
to worry
Yotev
about it.
knows
Go
that
help
is.
your people. Go.
I feel like we've
I
done
need to know
enough
where you
here.
guys are gonna be.
Gillian, is that
You-
the same inn that we stayed at on our way to Deerstock before?
You have your family's place. You don't even know where we're staying.
I know that that's where you're staying. Because Aiden went there. So.
Yes,
I
we're
just
gonna go
wanna
to the
know-
inn. We're gonna get some dinner.
Would
I
this
don't
be
know.
the same kind of inn that myself and Yotev would have gone to, or is it like middle class or like lower class?
Depends on honestly, how strapped for cash you guys were and how much you wanted to be
We didn't have a whole lot of
seen
money.
at all. Because if you don't want to be seen, it'd be easier to go to one of the smaller inns.
We probably would have been like far slums, like
In
hidden.
that case, you would have gone to a place called the Leaky Tap to stay.
Can't remember. Didn't I write this down where we were at?
It is the Lodge of the Eclipse. That's not it. It's Song of Supper and Inn. Isn't that
The
theirs?
Song and Supper.
Yeah, isn't that where they're at?
Maybe. Is that where y'all are at?
Aiden, where did you all stay? Because
The heart-
clearly they don't know where you all stay. And
The hardest part of
Yotev
the
trusts
campaign.
Aiden for information. He keeps track of these things.
I stayed at the Pillow Trove. Michael, where did you stay?
I don't know if we wrote where everyone else stayed.
You guys literally the
So
notes.
I want to say you guys went to the Lodge of the Eclipse because that is the one just outside of the Trispire area.
I think so,
and
too.
is relatively close, actually very close to the Invulnerable Vagrant.
Yes.
That sounds right. That was my first guess, and then I was like, I don't know, maybe they were farther south.
A very nice mid-ground level of lodging. Yes, very good choice, friends.
I'm not staying there though.
And you're now paying for everybody.
For
Yotev.
everyone.
For everyone.
You know, I guess Yotev could
Rescue mission.
Yes. You know what, Yotev does owe you that. Yes, very much. Yotev secede.
All right,
We
so
should
we'll go.
seek out Arenas.
Yeah, I'd rather rest because if we run into anything, I'm gonna die. I don't know if you're aware. Did you not get hit by that fucking thing?
I almost died.
No.
Yeah.
Are
You and I
people,
both
like-
got fucking pummeled.
I wouldn't know what that feels like. Thanks to Yotev.
Is anyone looking like? Is anyone looking like really rough right now?
I'm
I'm at
at
two main
13 hit
fighters.
points.
I'm at 12 hit points.
Jesus.
Alright, I'll go ahead and cast Cure Wounds once each on Killian and
I've only-
Varnax.
I can't. That's my
That's the
only
wrong
spell
guy.
slot.
Yotev
So-
would love to help, but Yotev is full tapped
So
right
that's
now until
six.
Yotev recharge things.
6 to Killian
Thank you.
and 10 to Varnax.
23.
Yeah, at this point, the HP is rough, but beyond that, you guys have also lost a lot of your spell slots and ability to cast and perform magic.
I have
so
one.
a lot of your abilities are used up as well. Is sort of the other part of it where maybe a rest isn't uncalled for. Maybe.
I will finish. God, I can't do it. I can't.
Does anyone want to go get something to eat? Maybe we could sit down for a little while.
I will
If
go with you, buddy.
Discuss what have just happened.
Killian, take another 12.
Thank you.
Bo is helping the people around, I would probably stay to try to gain more information from her afterwards.
Easily done.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yotev
That's
does not care.
So we
She
have,
seems she seems like too much of a goody two shoot to me. So kind of like someone else in our party.
I just imagine that I've heard of the Cobalt Soul and that they might
Yeah.
have information.
Sure,
for sure.
No judgment.
You do your things. Kenji, Killian, would you like to join Varnex and myself for lunch?
I'm feeling particularly full right now, and I might walk and stretch my legs.
Imagine you feeling full.
That is interesting, but looking back at the massive, 3-block radius. Huh. I guess we did lose some folks over there.
We might lose people, but we don't lose the purpose they serve. Everything,
Yotev is not worried about losing people. It happens with territory of adventuring. Happens all the time.
So we
However,
lost you.
exactly, but now you found me. You found Yotev, did you not? In technicality, Yotev rescued himself, and Yotev stumbled upon you. And get blasted by Kenji.
We
But, you
weren't
know-
coming to rescue you.
Yotev will give you credit, where credit is due.
I mean, if you think about it, if you were an attacker, that was a pretty good shot.
It was very impressive.
Caleb, I love this.
So what I'm hearing is next time you can just take care of yourself and we don't need to come and help you.
I mean, Yotev would still appreciate any attempt at help that would happen, but
Let's go get some food.
Yes, please! Yotev hasn't eaten in like 3 days. Not good food, anyway.
All right, we're going to the inn of the Lodge of the Eclipse.
All right.
If you want to do everybody else, and then I have a different destination in mind.
And then when we eat, take a short rest, whatever, we'll run to Arenas.
Killian, since Aiden and I aren't going with you guys, when you go to arenas, can you make sure to grab whatever our share of whatever stuff is for us, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm out, and I'm gonna
Are you?
go to Beauregard. Yeah, I'm gonna just sit on your shoulder.
I meant, are you using your hat?
Why would I use my hat?
It's up to you. I don't know.
Why would I use my hat?
All right, so can we do a short rest real quick? The
Yes.
ones that are going.
For it's 3 of you that are going. The 3 of you that go ahead and mark off a
4.
short rest.
No,
Oh no,
it's three.
Kenji's going somewhere else.
Kenji's going
He's
somewhere else.
wandering alone.
Because that sounds like a good idea.
We all know what happened last time.
Well, I don't have an insurmountable bounty on my head, so I mean,
This
surely.
is very true.
Yeah.
Oh, remind me, for hit dice, it's just the value. We don't add anything, right?
Pleasure con
Okay, thank
for
you.
each die that you roll.
Get it, girl.
We get 6 more.
Can
add
I
it,
ask a
man?
Well, max.
clarifying question?
Yes.
On the Emperor card, is it short rest or per day? You put per short day,
Oh, it added it
so I
already.
don't know.
Let me double check.
I'm sorry. I'm just physically writing it out, and I want to write it proper for whatever you fix it to.
The Emperor.
And I can't tell. I apologize.
Cosmic Tarot. The Emperor.
I didn't do that right.
I would assume it's per short rest. Makes more sense. But if it's per day,
Yeah. So it was per day. I attempted to change it to once per short rest, but only changed. I only added short. Did not get rid of or change that name. So I did do that as well.
I'll add it in the next Discord so you can do it later.
Got it. Thank you.
This is still gonna mess up if I import.
Thank you. Sorry.
I can't do anything until I do a long rest.
For the 3 of you that are taking your rest, you are able to make it to the Song and Supper. You're able to find yourself a booth, actually eat a little bit of supper, and
Lodge of the
gain-
Eclipse.
Yeah, they're at the
Lodge of the
lodge.
Eclipse. Yes. My bad. Lodge of the Eclipse. You go to the lodge. You're able to get a little bit of food in you, rest and relax. For those of you that are working, being Aiden and Cassandra, how are you assisting in the collapse?
I'm probably using Mage Hand to pick up rubble and find anybody who might be under rubble.
5 pounds at a time.
How much can I lift just by myself? What does strength +1 let me lift?
Not a ton, but more than 10.
Can I mage hand while I'm also physically lifting? Because one of those is done mentally and one of those is done physically.
Roll an Arcana check for me. As you attempt to basically use magic, and you have some limited magic of the
10 plus 6, so a 16.
16. And then what are you doing to assist Aiden?
I think that I would be trying to find people as well that might be trapped. But I'd be trying to guide them along paths that are less dangerous to get to a safe area.
Ooh. So either make a perception for finding people or a survival for guiding.
The same bonus. It's a dirty 20.
Damn, babe.
Fantastic. While they are off doing that, Kenji, where are you going?
I'm gonna stretch my newfound legs, and I'm gonna go and visit the invulnerable vagrant.
All right, easily done. You find yourself at the Invulnerable Vagrant. The shop is open again to the general public as it was closed the last time that you were here. But seeing as you and your group have helped to solve the issue that Pumat Sol was having for a very long time, he was able to reopen his doors and start getting a little bit of flow again. As you enter the interior, there are a couple of different adventurers and other people within town walking around and looking at items. There are two of the different Pumats downstairs. One is currently assisting with a customer. The other one is sort of loitering around a little bit, as a lot of customer service folks sometimes do, where they're just like, let me know if I can help. And he's restocking, but really just sort of reshuffling stuff, looking busy and waiting for someone to call on him to either make a purchase or ask a question. So as you walk in, there is one that is open and able to assist at this given time.
How are you doing today, Pumat?
Doing great. It's good to see you, little buddy. Welcome back. Thanks for all the help again.
Yeah, anytime.
How can I be of service here today?
Well, I have an interesting problem, and I'm hoping that you can help me identify it and let me know more about it. Is that something that you're able to do?
I can try, but that seemed very vague and not super specific.
It's an interesting problem that I have. Is it possible that we could do it not here?
Sure. He sort of gestures for you to follow, and he leads you up the same set of stairs that you had gone up the day before to assist with his cursed magic item. And as he does, he sort of starts to lead you up the stairs. He stops and puts his head into a back door next to the stairs and just calls, Pumat, I'm gonna take my my break. I'm helping out one of the adventurers from last night. I think other Pumat may need your help in the front of the store. And they sort of do this quick swap off where one guy in the back comes to the front and another one follows you upstairs. And you're in that same area. It's empty. It's just you and him at this point. He sort of gestures for you to sit down at the table, and he starts pouring a cup of tea off in one corner and says, "Do you like anything to drink?"
Whatever you're having would be fine.
He'll pour a second cup of tea as well and come and sit them both down in front of you. He sits down in the chair across from you.
And then as he's doing that, I came across this object, and I was hoping you can tell me what it is. And I would have set down the backpack that I have. Super cute, by the way, because I'm super tiny and like a doll size. Sure. And then the orb on top, which I assume when it's set down is just flowing energy out of it.
A little bit less so. It sort of has that whenever you move it, it has that sort of wispy trail behind it, but it doesn't seem to be overflowing with it anymore. You're not entirely sure why.
Okay.
But as he says, do you mind if I take a look?
Yeah.
Rolls up his sleeves and picks it up and starts sort of palming it over and over again. Genuinely confused. And roll.
Can I assist?
Sure.
To give him the help action in any way possible?
Highest one. That is a 12 on the die. Pumat's intelligence.
If this motherfucker isn't intelligent, dude.
Better if I can be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's a dirty 20. He looks at it and he's not super sure what it is that he's looking at. He's kind of holding it. He understands certain aspects of it, just sort of off the dome is talking about. Doesn't follow any of the main schools of magic. Seems not necessarily arcane in nature, but not quite natural either. Some sort of divine magic, perhaps. He pulls out a pearl, begins to cast Identify. As he does, how could her
Yeah.
Ooh, well, that's not good.
Did you say that's really good?
No, I did not. That's not awesome. What about this? Okay, he's proficient. That's good. That's good. That's good. Ooh.
Jesus Christ. Can I get a different Pumont?
You watch as he casts Identify. His eyes start to glow purple as he begins to read some of the nature of the magic on this. And you watch as streaks of red begin to pour from his nose. And then it turns white for some reason. And starts to go clear as you watch Pumont's head slowly tilt and then falls off of his body and hits the table as a mound of snow. And the rest of the body sort of falls apart into chunks of ice and begins to melt in front of you.
Pumont, I don't know if that's something that you normally do, but I feel like you're going to be late for your switch off.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay. Fuck me. Arcana, you said? Cool. It was a nat 1 for a 3.
You have no idea what the fuck just happened to Pumont, but he just turned into like a couple of different piles of snow and is quickly melting.
I'm gonna scoop up the orb back in the backpack.
Sure.
And I'm gonna walk out.
Okay. You just start walking out. The orb's a little wet because it's covered in Pumat snow, but you just sort of shake that off, throw it into the backpack, and
I'm out. Yep. I was gonna ask if there's any of his like clothes there that were dry that I could use to dry it off, but if I just can shake it off, that's fine too.
Yeah, no, you just shake it off. It's good.
I don't get the feeling that he's died in front of me, right?
You get the feeling that the Pumat that you were talking to is no more, and effectively is dead. Yes. If you roll better on that Arcana check, I would have been able to tell you a little bit more about the situation that just happened, but you don't know.
Does he absorb the soul still?
Well, I don't think I can take simulacrum souls. That's why I was wondering, actually, because I was in the vicinity when he died. But
if you rolled better than that one, I'd be able to give you more information.
Valid.
Sorry.
That's exciting.
This wasn't Prime. This was one of the other ones, right?
No, I mean,
no,
who
this
knows?
was not Prime.
Wait.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
We killed Pumat Prime.
God. Can I have a question about this thing? Jet.
Can you?
Well, I'm out. Bye.
Yeah.
Huh.
Actually,
odd.
on the way out, I yeah, on the way out, I'll just Pumat, your other Pumat did a weird thing, and I assume that he didn't want to talk anymore, and so I can head out if you want.
What sort of weird thing to do?
He turned into a pile of snow.
You see a look of like shock, concern, confusion, and then disappointment. Like very quick back-to-back emotional like arc that he goes through in front of your eyes. He just sort of laces his fingers together, stares down at you a little bit and goes, what was he doing when that happened?
I mean, I don't feel comfortable doing it out in the open. If you want to also go and talk about it.
Sort of, am I in... What was the last thing that he did? What caused him to die?
Did he die?
If he turned into snow, he's dead, yeah.
Oh. Well, he was trying to identify an item for me.
Okay, let me go fetch Prime. He goes into the back.
Yo,
You hear
I'm
just this
two
muffled
birds,
conversation.
2 birds, 1 stone. I'm killing Prime today. Easy.
It's just,
If he rolls as poorly as he does with this, surely.
Yo, Tep hasn't even met Prime yet. He
Yeah,
doesn't
don't
know
worry.
who the fuck this is.
after a few minutes of a muffled conversation in the back, you see Prime comes out, takes some goggles off of his head and wipes a massive amount of sweat off of his brow and just sort of looks down at you like, "What'd you do to number 3?"
I didn't do anything. I asked him to help me with something, because we had found it, and
All right, let's go upstairs. Let's see what you showed him.
Come on now.
He goes upstairs and waits for you to follow, or assumes
Mhm.
you're following.
Yep. If we go into the
As he,
same room, I'll pick up my tea and I will have a sip.
Yeah, you go into the same room because it basically up the stairs and there's just a landing that is like basically like an apartment above the shop. So it turns into a landing. It's immediately like a kitchen, a sitting area, and the living room. So he goes over to that sitting area where there's 2 cups of tea. You sit down and start drinking the other, and there's just a thing of tea with a snowy hand wrapped around it, and there's like a chunk of ice now in it that used to make up a part of his head that's now like cooling the tea pretty rapidly. And Pumat Prime just sort of looks over at it, sighs a bit, takes the teacup from the hand, puts it off to the side, and just with a wave of his hand prestidigitates and cleans up the puddle of water and a bunch of the snow. It takes like 2 or 3 castings, but he just sort of...
So, I was trying to. I showed him this, and I'll put the backpack out again in the orb. There we had come across this, and I was just looking to get some more information to know, like what it, like I don't know what it is, and so I came to the most knowledgeable person that I could think of, which was you or one of you, and
well, whatever this is, looking into it seemed to have broken the simulacrum. Are you at all capable of healing or reviving someone if they were to perish?
I can usually when people die around me, I think I kind of keep them around. So I mean, I could probably, yeah.
All right. He goes and he sits down across from you. He doesn't touch it yet. He just looks down at it. He's gonna attempt another roll. If you'd like to help him with this Arcana check again.
I don't know if I want to now.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll help him. I'll help him.
Okay. 2d20. Keep highest. 1.
Easy.
That is only a 10 for an 18.
Oh.
He looks down at it. He gets a lot of the same stuff that the other Pumat did. And he just, there seems to be a little bit more of a hesitant nature to him of not wanting to pry into this thing because of what happened to the other Pumat. And he just sort of pokes it. It rolls a little bit and doesn't do anything. He picks it up with his hand, looks it over, puts it down, and says, Well, I can always try to identify the thing, but seeing as that killed Pumat number 3, may not be the wisest thing for me to do. I am more hardy than the simulacrums are, but even still, forget it. Might as well just do it. He rolls up his sleeves. He, you see, he picks up a sending stone from his waist and he mutters something into it. And he pauses for a moment and gets a ping back and says, I've got a friend that'll be coming in about 5 minutes. When she gets here, she and I will take a closer look at what you got.
Who's your friend?
She's an arcanist from Taldore. She's good at what she does.
As long as not too many people know about this, because we don't know exactly what it is yet, so we don't want to.
I can always ask her to leave her wife behind, but I assume that it'd be better for her to come, considering she's the one that's gonna be saving my life if I do die like the other Pumat did.
As long as they know discretion, I'm sure it's fine.
These two have dealt with worse secrets in the past. After a few minutes, out of thin air, not through a teleportation circle, not through anything else, two figures just appear in the middle of Pumat's room with a warping of space and the thuds of feet. You see a tall human woman, long, once blonde hair slowly turning gray, braided down the sides of her head, blue robes with silver and gold embroidered into them, and the physical sort of demeanor of importance about her. Next to her is a much shorter halfling woman. She looks to be only about a foot taller than you are, to a foot and a half, considering you are a doll and quite short. But she comes in wearing full plate armor, a massive sword on her back, massive for her own stature. And you recognize right off the bat that she wears emblazoned on her armor the holy symbol of the Platinum Dragon Bahamut. And as the two of them land into this room, Pumat just sort of addresses and says, Laura and Lady Kima, welcome. This is a friend of mine, Kenji. He helped with cursed item that I had just the other night, and he brought something that seems to have done in one of my simulacrum. You see the shorter halfling that he had referred to as Kima takes a step forward, sort of looks down at it, clasps her holy symbol, and focuses a divine sense, reaching out for what kind of entity this may be. Double check divine sense real quick. Yeah, she opens her eyes and says, it's celestial in nature, whatever it is. Where'd you say you found this?
We were helping close the rifts with Beauregard, the monk from the Cobalt Soul. One of the monks in the Cobalt Soul. So
make an insight check.
Okay. Oh fuck yeah. Yes. Insight. Oh, that's a 19.
You don't get they don't seem to recognize the name Beauregard, but when you mentioned the Cobalt Soul, they both seem to sort of open up a little bit of like, oh, great, perfect. Because with that bit of information, it's almost like telling them that, oh, don't worry, we already have another group of researchers on this, so they sort of get a little bit more relaxed into it of like, okay, so we've got backup if we need it. And Allura takes a step forward and begins to wave a hand across this thing. And as she does, her eyes furrow, her eyebrows furrow, and she sort of picks it up with one hand and rotates it around. Celestial. There's no indication of who, or what, or why. Kima, if you could. You watch as Kima places her hand on her chest again to the holy symbol, and her hand begins to glow with almost like a grayish white light. And she places it on Allura. She casts Death Ward on Allura, and Allura will attempt a identification, which will lead in her having to make a Wisdom saving throw as well.
Yo, love the fact
Cast
that
what on herself?
Kima casts Death Ward on Allura.
So she can't die while. That's cool.
Yeah. God, the rolls are great. There is a moment where there is like a little bit of blood that comes down as whatever this is does cause a psychic backlash, but seems to tank it a little bit better than the simulacrum did.
Yeah.
And as she sort of wipes that blood off, Kima puts a hand on Allura's shoulder, or as Allura's sitting there, and begins to push in, lay on hands to heal up. And the blood quickly begins to stop. And Allura's eyes are wide with this verdant green energy about her magic. She is staring down at it in shock and a bit of confusion. And as she pulls out of it, finally getting let go of whatever this thing is. I do not know what it is that you have found. But whatever it is, it fights back. You said you closed a rift to find this thing?
Yeah, it seems to not have a problem when I ask it for help or I need it to do something.
No. She sort of leans in closer and tries to think of how to explain this. Magic items in general have rules that they follow, terms of their arcane limits. This doesn't seem to have terms. This is just, it's like a raw source of magic. Whatever it is that you found isn't. Sort of pauses for a moment and looks over at Kima. Looks up at Pumat and looks back at you. This isn't an object. I don't know what this is. But it feels... She looks up at you again and squints a bit. There's still parts of you that look manufactured, that aren't...
Yeah.
Right? Says, whatever this is, it's a lot like if I were to cast Identify on you. Parts of your person are magic, but there's a soul to you. Trying to identify a person, a soul, doesn't work right.
So, should I keep talking to it? Would it like that? Does it matter? Does it care?
All Good questions. Unfortunately, I do not know. When you talk to it, does it respond?
It doesn't say anything, but it seems to let me know if it's ready to do the thing that I want to do. Like when I wanted to close the rift, it seemed to like hum in agreement.
She sort of nods to you, getting the understanding that this thing is capable of understanding you, but it itself has not spoken yet. And she just sort of takes a breath and says, "And who do you have looking into this item? Is it just yourself?
Yeah.
What of the Cobalt Soul? Are they not assisting with this?"
Not yet.
Good. You should get them on this. They would have a library vaster than my own and the ability to do extra bits of research, but I will continue to look into this, whatever this is.
Is there a
Just
way
to
that we
keep
can
it.
keep in contact if you do find something out?
She nods and says, I am able to reach out to you now that we've met. And Umon has the ability to reach out to me as well. Are you able to perform any sort of sending?
I can send messages, but not very far. Or talk into people's heads like we're doing now, but
She nods and will um um she yeah, I guess so. She'll pull out a mirror.
okay.
It looks like a ornate hand mirror of sorts. Half of it seems almost golden, the other half silvered, as the metals sort of intermingle into different sections. It almost looks like if you took a silver mirror and a gold mirror that were identical, snapped them both in half, and then adhered the two halves together. And as she hands it over to you, she pulls out her own and says, this will allow us to communicate with one another, should you find the need. On your character sheet in your inventory, if you'd like to add a mirror of infinite transpondence, let me know if that's in there or not for you, because if it's not, I can add it.
It is not.
Do you have Critical Role content enabled?
Oh boy, probably not. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's probably why. Manage inventory. Got it. Cool.
All right. So as an action, you can establish a visual link with the paired mirror for 10 minutes, with both of them basically acting as opposite sides of a open window. The mirrors create the connection even if they're on different planes. And you can converse basically through this mirror.
Okay.
I think it's once a day.
Oh, 3 times.
Once a connection between the two mirror has been activated 3 times from either end, it cannot be activated for the next dawn. So you've got 30 minutes a day of talking to this person if you'd like to.
Okay. I really appreciate that. And if something comes up on my side that might help you figure more out on your side, I can let you know.
That would be greatly appreciated. What do you plan on doing with this thing now that you've secured it?
I think figuring out what I guess it wants. I mean, it's the least I could do. It helped us out of a situation. So, if it seems like it's like magical but has a soul, I don't think that many people should know about this. I feel like it might cause more undue alarm, and if this thing is alive, I don't think that constantly being studied, poked and prodded is probably not the best thing for it.
Fortunately, I believe that you might be right. I would say that keeping this a secret should be your first and main objective. I shudder to think what others would do if they found out about this thing. How many know of this besides the 4 of us?
The group that I'm with knows as well. So 5 others, and that's it.
Have they shared?
And
Bo.
And the Cobalt Soul Monk. But they only saw it briefly. I don't think that they saw much outside of after we were running and closing the rift.
And have they told anyone?
No.
See to it that they do not. She kind of is hesitant a bit and turns towards Puma and says, "Do you mind if I take up a corner of your study? I'd like to stay here for the time being and assist you with any research. My libraries are vast, but I've read everything in those tomes at least a dozen times, and I have not read anything about this." And Pumat sort of nods and says, my accommodations are going to be much less helpful than yours, but you're welcome to stay here. And the 2 of them will begin to discuss this item that you've put before them and this puzzle that you've basically thrown in front of them. And you're free to stay and assist if you'd like, or you can wander off as well.
I think if you guys are going to be doing that, and if you need to get a hold of me, I think that you have a way, but I'll get back to my friends and I'll let them know to not mention it so that we're all on the same page.
Be wise. It was interesting meeting you, Kenji.
Likewise. I always like making new friends.
As you leave,
and on the way out, I'm really sorry about the other Pumont. I didn't know that would happen.
Pumont Prime looks over at you and says, "That's quite alright." As you do leave, make a perception check.
Perception? Dirty 20.
As you go to leave, you watch, and you get this look. There's no insight check needed. It is more... It's more that there's not a lot of hiding this emotion. But as Kima watches you leave, she seems uncertain about you. She does not seem to trust you. You get the sense that with her divine sense, she sniffed something out on you that she did not like.
As I'm out of earshot, I'll be talking to myself. We'll need to make sure that Kima's not around next time. And I'll start wandering towards the bar. Or towards the end.
At the end of...
Point of order, real quick. You had commissioned a bag of holding the day before, right? Did we have a time frame on that?
I think it was that day. Or like a day. Could I ask before I left, before I saw that?
Yeah, you go downstairs and you're about to leave. You stop and turn towards one of the other Pumats who, word has gotten around from Pumat Prime to the other Pumats that oh hey, by the way, Pumat 3 is dead.
Actually, I have another favor to ask. This different Pumat.
You watch as the one in front of you starts to turn white. You get afraid that he's also turning to snow, but it's just all the color draining from his face. Sure. How can I help?
Well, you see, I paid for a bag of holding yesterday, and they said that it would be
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Absolutely. He goes into the back, comes out with a brand new bag of holding, just recently enchanted, hands it over to you, and says, "Is there anything else I can help you with, sir?"
Oh, I thought I was buying that one.
No, I laid down a coffer of 500.
Oh yeah.
No, that's good. Thank you. What? Okay, so bag of holding. Do I get the sense that this is not an extra dimensional? This doesn't.
Know what it is.
Oh, fuck.
You want to find out?
Fuck around, Dragon.
Don't worry. We'll figure out what it is, buddy. I got
There's
you.
another 3 blocks of the city.
Okay, wait. In character, would you think about that though? Like, are you smart? Like, wisdomly.
There are warnings that come with these bags. There are warnings that come with these bags to not put them near other things. We don't know this.
It's probably
so you know what?
it probably comes pretty for anyone who's selling these things. They probably do have you sign a couple of waivers of I insert purchaser's name. Am fully aware that the placing of one extra dimensional space into a secondary.
Can she read it or just sign it and be like, "Get the fuck out of my face"?
Yeah, at the very least, he would know it exists because Pumat would make sure they know before selling this item.
Because he doesn't want to be turned to snow.
Yeah.
So I'm
lost a customer before to putting a bag of holding and another bag of holding.
Yeah, because they thought they were gonna get so much more space. Okay, so then what I would have done is I would have grabbed the bag of holding, the orbs in the backpack, and then on the way out, I would I'm gonna use the mirror of infinite transpondence because it's almost the end of the day. Hi, one sec. It's Allura, right?
Yep.
Hi, Allura. Just a really quick question. What are your thoughts on putting this orb into a bag of holding?
I imagine that it would be fine. I didn't sense anything that seemed. It definitely seemed not of our plane of existence, but it didn't seem as though it itself was an extraplanar space.
I mean, with all the
be
paperwork,
careful.
yeah, with all the things that they had me sign, right? It was a big sheet of paper for something that gives you extra storage. So I said to myself, maybe I should figure this out. And the foremost experts in our field are you, me, and Pumat. So,
unfortunately, the foremost experts in our field are very out of our depths when it comes to this item.
exactly.
I would say that even no matter what it is that you do with it, I would be hesitant and careful with what you choose to try.
All right.
I can only caution you to be as systematic and careful about this as you can.
Maybe I'll ask it and see if it knows, and we'll go from there.
That seems like a wise first step for sure.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Kenji, just on the offhand that you would know this, roll a history check. Because I don't think I asked for you to do that to figure out who these people are.
All right. History? Oh, I have a +2.
Yep.
That's a 21.
21. Allura sounds very, very, very familiar. And it takes some time to put together why. But it isn't until you go to put the mirror away and you flip the mirror over as you're going to put it in the bag, and you see that on the back it has her full name on it as she's claiming it on her own. It is Arcanist Allura Visoren. And that's when it begins to click a little bit as to who this person is. Kumot basically called a government official from Taldore to come and look at this. But she is the Allura is a former adventurer, currently a member on the Council of Taldore, and is the
Should still lower.
let's see, where was it? She is also a member of the Arcana Pansophical, which is a group of arcanists who attempt to share and broaden the truth of magic and exterminate its misuse. They are a powerful collection of arcane practitioners. Most specifically, for those who may be more familiar with the world of Critical Role, if any of you have, I don't want to spoil where you might have seen this person before, but this is the same group that Plain Rider Rin belongs to.
Right.
So it's just a group of very powerful arcanists that all have different specialties. So this is a big wig that he called in, as just sort of an idea of who it was you just talked to.
Gotcha. Interesting. Definitely will not need. Definitely need to not have chemo with us next time. Also, I will just real quick. I'm gonna ask the orb. Be like, I have a special place that I can put you to keep you safe. Is it okay? I don't wanna lock you up. I wanna keep you away from being taken.
You ask this question, and your mind is assaulted with a series of emotions, thoughts, images, and visions, most of which go over your head. However, you catch enough to feel like a insecurity or fear, a trepidation of being placed inside of something, given that it just got free. A hint of trust there of you're the one that broke it out, so there's a little bit of trust there, but a lot of apprehension and concern, not necessarily of the idea of being put into an extra dimensional space. It doesn't seem concerned with that, but it seems concerned on the whether or not it will be allowed out, or if you're just replacing its old prison for a new one.
Oh, you can come out whenever you want if you can let me know when you figure that out. But here, watch, and I'll dip it into the bag, and then I'm gonna pull it out of the bag so that it knows that it's not stuck in there. We're not trapping it.
It still doesn't love the idea, but it seems that little sliver of trust seems to grow a little bit with the demonstration.
Okay, so we won't put you in there for now, but if there's places that we go where other people, you might be in danger of people taking you and capturing you, then you might need to go in there to keep you safe. So I'll keep it
His
in the
ball's
backpack.
Pikachu.
Make
Doesn't
a
want to go in his
pers-
Pokeball.
thing. With that logical argument and that logical reason you provided, roll a persuasion check as well, just to see.
Fuck yeah, nat 20. Ugh. Persuasion? Plus 5. 25.
It is comfortable and willing to allow you to put it away, as if you grant it the knowledge of like here is why. Like, we're going into this situation where people might steal you. Fine, I'm okay with it then.
Okay, cool.
But it's one of those where it's like, if I have to, and if there's a good reason, sure, I will go. But other than that, I don't want to.
Okay. The adventure begins. Excellent. I'm good.
The adventure begins.
Yeah.
Cassandra and Aiden, as the two of you have cleared out large sections, Cassandra, you are throwing rocks with your the power of your gravitational magics, and Aiden, you are sort of hunting out people from under the rubble, calling guards over as they help to free folks, and then you are guiding a safe path out of the rubble. The two of you work for a solid hour straight. At the end of it, you're exhausted, you're tired, and they have other people come in and tap you out. And they say, they watch as Bo sort of taps the both of you out specifically, and says, I think the three of us have done a lot, but I'm out of it. I can't do much more after all that fight and the run just to jump back into work. If you're able and willing to be replaced, I'd be curious to meet with you and your group at some point to discuss what it was that we discovered down there. I have questions.
Can I say that I did this while I was teeny tiny this whole time? So that I was picking up very massive, large boulders as a very tiny thing.
Yeah.
So it's more impressive.
It looks like this like grueling work of this giant boulder being lifted, and then the camera zooms out and you're like an inch tall, and the it's like a rock like the size of a softball getting hurled.
No, I would have done them because I did the mage hand stuff at the Tim Pounds, and then I was picking up physical rocks with my actual person.
So it's like this massive boulder. It looks like you can pick it up, but it's like that big.
So, I will tell about our group is staying at the Eclipse, the launch of the Eclipse. So I believe that they're mostly all still there. I think so. If you want to go there, we can meet up there.
Great. I could use a drink.
Do you have any way of sending a message in any capacity?
Not personally, but I know some people.
Okay. I just wanted to tell my family that I was okay. They're at the Pillow Trove, but it's not a big deal. I'll just see you later. There's a giant explosion in town, and it was where we were headed, and I'm sure they're probably very worried, but I don't want to go there and then just come back.
What are their names?
Merriweather. No. You asked me and I forgot.
Fauna, Flora, and Merriweather, the three from Sleeping Beauty.
100% my mind went to say it and then blanked and stopped. And I'm like, I've known their names my entire real life, my whole life. So
I've been crushing with Disney trivia recently, so.
There's a Cobalt Soul member that starts to walk by. Scrawny looking human kid, maybe 15 or 16 years old, freshly joined and is working hard, doing his best. She grabs him by the collar, pulls him back, and says, Pillow Trove, you know where that is? He sort of nods a little confused, little scared and off-put. Flora, Fauna, Merriweather. go tell them that Cassandra's safe, all right? He sort of nods, a little worried, good kid, and sort of shoves them off. He starts like scrambling towards the tri-spires. All right, that takes care of that.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
As the three of you go to join as well, all of you meet up in the Lodge of the Eclipse. As you do,
This is why I think it was the other one that you guys were staying at, because Caleb struggle busted to remember what it was, but he was not struggle busting the other one.
that's because I had it up in front of me, and I just don't have it up in front of me right now, which is the problem. But as you guys make your way to the Lodge of the Eclipse, you all meet back up. Some of you well rested, others still exhausted and tired from both the running and the getting blown up, as well as the fact that you are haven't taken a short rest since getting fighting, getting blown up, and all the other shit that happened. As you meet up, Bo follows in behind, so it is the six of you and Beauregard as she goes to join you all. She grabs a round of drinks, throws it out in front of everybody, and sort of sits down at the end of the table, looks exhausted and beat, but is sort of working out parts of her shoulder and forearm and back that are stiff after the fight.
I don't know how to start this.
Can I
Go ahead.
give a description of I've finalized what I want my character change to look like?
Yay!
Oh, perfect.
With the new feat I've decided to become expertise in perception. So what you're gonna see is Killian's all white eyes all of a sudden have these cracks that kind of mimic the shattering effect that happened on the encasing on the orb, and they have that glow to them. So he has like these cracked orbs in both of his eye sockets now. They're white with like that like a purple kind of glow that came out of it.
Nice.
Steph, that's cool as fuck.
That is
Cool.
I love that.
Thank you.
Is this something that we would all like notice?
It's noticeable. It's not like a super bright glow, like I'm not shooting lasers out of my eyes, but it's like it's dull but enough of a glow that when people look at me they notice and they're like, huh.
Alright, so I'm gonna turn
So-
to you and I'm gonna be like, Killian, there's
Yes.
a lot going on earlier, and I wanted to go help the people, but have you been able to like look in the mirror?
Why would I do
Because-
that?
Well, let me just tell you, your whole you should just look in the mirror. You should just look in the mirror and experience it for yourself. That's what I think you should do. I don't want to tell you. I think you should go look in the mirror.
Is there any like reflective surface near me?
Do I have a mirror?
Yeah. Well,
Kenji has a
does
mirror.
too, at this point.
Well, but I don't
I-
know that Kenji has a mirror and would not think he has one.
You just talked. We're all together.
I think there are a couple of different tools kits that come with small mirrors, so for sure, Yotev would have one.
Here, take a look. Right over here. It's a little pocket mirror.
I'll hold it up and just kind of gaze into it, no expression, just kind of stuck staring at my own eyes.
Right?
Don't get
It's
lost
pretty
in there
badass.
now.
I think it's pretty badass, Killian. I don't know what happened to all of us, but hey, if we're all affected, well, what happened to you? Because we don't know you as well. Did you ever have something happen?
She just kind of looks around at all of you and goes, I don't think so. Did something happen to you all?
Huh.
Just point to my eyes.
Yeah, Killian's got these
Squints
closed
at
eyes now that he
She
didn't
just
have
squints at your
before.
eyes. She doesn't super. I don't think she got familiar enough with you to sort of recognize.
Our
that's
necks are
Very
muted.
different. But she takes note of that.
And you got legs. Look, they bendy bend.
And an eye. Look at that.
And an eye.
Right now.
She
He's
points
a
at
little
the
bit
eye and goes,
broken.
that I did notice. So brief shudder down the spine and goes, you didn't all grow eyes, did you?
No, but I'll hop across the
Sort of
bar.
nods a phantom pain.
Yes.
I'll hop across the bar with my wings and then
That's
strut
cool.
back.
Wow.
Kenji got an eye. And then
Kenji got eye. Varnex got wings. Killian got purple eyes.
Aiden got a cool sword. His sword's cool now.
Really?
His sword was cool before.
Yeah.
I don't know how
about it.
visible mine is.
You got beefed up knuckles now, or extra leg whip for that kick?
She kind of flexes a bit, and she doesn't seem to recognize anything different. She doesn't feel any different. She just sort of shrugs.
Why did stuff happen to all of us but not Bo? She was there.
Don't know. Maybe it's yet to be discovered still.
Is the thing that that Kenji took? I'm trying to be vague in this inn. Is it alive? I'll whisper as quietly as possible. Just.
It's my. Well, I mean, I don't need a whisper because.
Just
your
tell-
head.
You like mentally talk to
And-
people.
Yeah, and find. Yeah, I haven't
So-
moved my mouth once. I want to reiterate that. That's key to the character process.
I still won't hear what you said.
You already opened your mind to me.
You did.
That's not
can
how.
close
You
that
did.
off.
What?
Mhm.
Turns it back
It's
off?
not like it's not like when it's open, it's always open. It's
All right, cool. We might as well start out YOLOing it. I think I killed Pumat's soul. To everybody except Bo and to Cassandra.
Who is Pumatsu?
He's a shopkeeper. We helped him
yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
Yeah.
there may have been some little things that we sent back into the shop that we had to get rid of, and then he had a sword. Yeah, and
He did not send them in there.
Were you there for that? Did you see who sent them
And
back in?
Killian got this hammer, but it was a sword, and we had to fight off waves. It
You have noticed new weapon. Great, Mo.
is very nice.
Yes.
I'll pull it out and just kind of just drop it on the table. Just.
But I'll put a hand. Varnex
See?
is gonna put a hand on Bo's shoulder.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say a prayer, and here you go. Just a quick lay of hands, just to revitalize. Hope that helps.
There is. Varnex has done a lot of. He's been in a lot of combat, and I imagine he's done at least a little bit of field medicine, given that you have the ability to. This is not the first time, but you felt this whenever you did this to someone, but you feel her shoulder pop back into place as it was dislocated at some point, and seems to finally find its way back into the socket, and then she starts rolling like, oh fuck. Thank God.
That's good.
Very good.
What did Kenji say about Pumatsu?
You don't know anything about it. You didn't hear the word
No,
soul?
Yotev said,
Well,
"Who is Pumat
yeah.
Soul?"
Oh,
out loud.
oh, okay.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, Yotev said, "Who is Pumat Soul?" out loud. You started explaining about items. Yotev then complimented Killian's new weapon.
Yeah. Okay, I'm caught up now.
What is-
I'm good.
Yeah, there you go.
So, what did Kenji say about?
Just staring at Cassandra like this, and then it'll just go like this.
You wouldn't know that Kenji said anything though.
If nothing
No.
was said out of nowhere from Kenji and Yotev asked a question out loud,
You still wouldn't know it came from Kenji. Sorry.
no one else spoke.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you might be able to assume, but point of order
Kenji,
there.
why did you kill
there's-
Puma's soul? Whoever this man is. There, I've solved the problem.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, this will be good. Actually, yeah. All right, Cassandra hears that. It's her favorite character. Go to town, Cassandra. Your turn. Check.
I'm just gonna sit there and be shocked, and I'm just gonna be like, how? What?
What
I
happened
don't-
to Diplomat?
And I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna sit there and go through like a bajillion different questions in my head and say nothing and just be like, I'm
What's
just
this
gonna
big
sit.
deal about the death of man named Pumatsu? He's just shopkeeper. There's millions of shopkeepers across all of Alexandria. Yotev was shopkeeper once, but it happens. That happens. And Yotev's gonna go scrounging in his bag, and he's gonna like look to see if everything's like in okay condition, like not cracked, not broken, and like
There
put his hand
is
in to
most-
like feel the like celestial energy bottle and see if it feels the same strength, weaker, or non-existent.
Make an Arcana check on the bottle.
Cool. It's a 13.
From what you can tell, it feels like it's not changed.
Good.
Hard to say.
When, just so that I can know this for it, when Yotev bottled it, it did feel like it was still like the same as the sphere itself, right? Or
Similar essence to the
similar
sphere.
essence. Yeah. Okay. Good. Hey, Kenji, what happened to Orb?
Before he responds, can I make a perception check to see if anybody's eavesdropping in our conversation?
Yeah, go for it.
That is a natural one.
Excellent.
I will.
Everyone's
reroll
looking.
that.
Well, hold on. Before you do, inventory. Oh, never mind. Yeah, go for it.
15 plus 8, 23.
Jesus.
23. At first, you don't recognize anyone listening in or anything, but then you kind of give another look around, feeling a little anxious about it. You give a second glance, and no one's particularly trying to listen in on anything that you're saying, but you do clock that there is a person who is in the bar that seems to be glancing over at your table a lot. With a 23, you can tell that they are sort of clocking and trying to get a bead on Cassandra specifically. They just seem to. They don't seem to be listening, but they seem to just every so often kind of look up and stare a little bit too long and look back down at what they're doing. Back and forth.
We have an extra pair of eyes at our table, specifically Cassandra.
I'm still small. No.
You famous or something?
No, it's probably not a good thing.
Cassandra, do you go to look or try to clock the person back?
Can I look through my cat's eyes and just have her kind of like pretend to go in a circle and like lay down in front of me kind of vibe where like she
You
was like
can't.
laying down and like I'm not comfy. So
Don't
I need
make
to,
it look
like,
obvious.
Well,
Yeah.
trying to get me comfy and going in a circle would not.
Not
Yeah,
all at
yeah,
once.
You the way that they're sitting is they're kind of behind you over one shoulder. So instead of looking, you sort of close your eyes and warg into Desna, and as she does a couple of small circles, you do recognize the person. This is someone that went to school with you a while ago, and they weren't necessarily friendly, but they weren't adversarial at all either. They were just sort of someone that you knew, someone that passed in the halls a lot.
It's
Would
donating.
they have done the thing with the person? Mayhap, would I know of their intentions enough to know whether or not they would take that opportunity?
You know that they floated around in that circle, but you don't know to what extent they were a part of it versus like a groupie, because there were a lot of people that sort of swam around that circle socially in hopes that they would be invited into it. And this was one of those folks. These were one of the people that kept trying to get an invitation in, which, given that information, if they aren't a part of it, they're still dangerous.
Trying to be
because people, yeah.
I'm with it. Okay. I'm gonna.
If only you had specifically been given an item to help prevent this.
I don't understand why you brought it up earlier. Thank you, husband, for trying. I appreciate you. There were people to save. I wasn't thinking about it, you know? I'm gonna curl up with Desna and just kind of be sad about Puma dying, because I haven't had it be clarified that it's, not Prime Puma, and I'm kind of upset, and I'm just gonna be like, it's probably a problem, but honestly, I don't want to deal with it right now. That's kind of where I'm at.
Bo will turn to answer your question, Ryan, and will say, Pumat was more than just any shopkeep. He was one of the main arcane shopkeeps in the city, and has a lot of ties to the Cerberus Assembly, which is a bit concerning now that he's gone. There's probably going to be some formal investigations, and he sort of looks over towards you, Kenji, and says, "You said you killed him? And if so,
Well, not exactly. Like, one of him his head fell off, and then the rest of his body turned to snow along with his head, I guess, which will cool down the tea by like a fair bit, so the tea tasted a little bit cold. But like the Prime, I guess, is fine. And this is to everybody. Also, I've knocked on Cassandra's door again. Probably got refused again. That's fine. Got Allura and Lady Kima came and suggested that we don't go any further with this, to share about this thing that we found.
Share? No.
But about it being like alive, it's my friend. I talked to it, and I can I get a sense of what it's thinking, and it's kind of scared right now.
Quick question before continuing on there. Bo had mentioned a name of an assembly. I can't quite. Does that like ring any bells in Yotev?
The Cerberus?
it should, yeah.
It sounds like it's something that it should.
Yeah. Would you like me to give a brief explanation of the Cerberus Assembly?
Oh boy.
Of what he would know of it.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and roll a history check, and depending on how well you roll, that will determine how much information I give.
Nat
Cool.
20. Nat 20, dude.
17.
17 is pretty good.
That's not bad, considering I'm not very well versed in history. You said Cerberus assembly?
Yes,
Mhm.
Cerberus Assembly.
Okay.
The Cerberus Assembly was established as a what is the best way to put it? Basically, the Dwendalian Empire is one that has conquered a lot of the surrounding nations and grown into what it is today. A lot of that growth can be attributed to a group referred to as the Cerberus Assembly. There was a lot of competition and strife between a bunch of mage lords, effectively, and the house leaders nearly all destroyed each other as a result of this little war. In a after a particular arcane battle within Rexentrum, it leveled 2 entire wards of the city. As a result, after hundreds of civilians died, a parley was called, and a bunch of the lords got together, and they basically formed they put aside their differences to avoid mutually assured destruction instead of joining as a unified conclave. Instead, joining as a unified conclave. They were brought before the king for judgment of their crimes, and they offered an accord to instead officially instate the conclave to submit entirely to the king's rule, taking on the name of the Cerberus Assembly. So that's kind of the history you get with the 17. Additionally, this Cerberus Assembly has subtly made itself a indisposable and vitally important part of the Empire intentionally, so that it can basically use this, oh, we'll serve you, the Emperor, and then they ingrain themselves into the politics of the Empire to amass political power as well as arcane power. They are a group of incredibly powerful mages that serve as justiciars and arcane spies, arcane cultivists. Specifically, let's see if there's any that you would be familiar with.
Percival de Rollo.
Not quite.
No.
Martinet Ludinus.
I don't know if you would know the Martinet. I think if any, yes, that's correct. I think if any, you would be familiar with, so the Archmage of Industry is one that you'd probably be familiar with, as a lot of their work oversees aspects that you would be interested in. That is Baroness Jenna. I want to say Irisor. Jenna is Jenna. Irisor is Iresor.
I'm sorry, could you spell that again?
Iresor.
Okay.
And just because I'd want to give you another, there is a member of the Cerberus Assembly that lives within Zadash as well, himself. Headmaster Ormid Haas, that is Oremid.
Oremid.
He's the headmaster for my
Yes.
the academy, so I would know.
Haas is HASS. And he is the Archmage of Cultivation. He runs the Hall of Erudition, which is the school within Zadash. And he is basically in charge of teaching the next generation of arcanists to basically grow up and challenge the people above them and add new ideas and things like that. He's basically like the
Gotcha.
headmaster of a school.
Gotcha.
And I hate to be the one, but we've missed break by half an hour.
Oh, we did. We can go ahead and
Sorry.
break there.
You are fine.
We
Sounds
can
good.
reconvene with the rest of this conversation, as well as whatever it is that you'd like to do post conversation, in order to tie up a couple of those loose ends. So we'll go ahead and get a. I'm gonna ask for a 10-minute because I'm gonna try to scarf down some food.
Yep.
In this 10-minute time.
Aim.
Cool.
Yep.
So
See-
back in 35.
Okay.
here, and here. We're good.
All right. So with that, is there any other topics of conversation people are wanting to talk about and discuss, or do you want to go and tie up a loose end or two?
Can I ask Beauregard? Because I assume that I know that the CA and the CB are like cool, but not cool. Like they just like work together when they have to, kind of vibe. Right?
What is your question?
Can I ask her if one may have needed to hide from specific people in the CA, not naming any names, would the CB be willing to help, mayhaps per chance?
The CB?
The Cobalt Soul. CBS. I'm so sorry. I missed your letter.
Cobalt's one word.
Huh?
Cobalt is
Cobalt's
one
one
word.
word.
Oh, so it's just CS. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I'm tired. I'm so sorry.
kind of thinks about it for a moment and goes, I mean,
So I would have said CS and CA. My bad.
yeah, it depends on who within the assembly you're trying to hide from as to how well we'd be able to do it. But the Cobalt Soul and the Cerberus Assembly aren't exactly friendly. Only a few of the Cerberus Assembly are outright hostile towards us, but Cerberus Assembly isn't exactly the biggest fans of individuals like myself.
Can I use, like, in front of her, can I use minor illusion to write out in front of her on the table so that nobody else can see it? The name.
You sort of walk over, and Desmond is able to sort of stand up and curl around you to block vision. And as you press your hand into the wood, bits of the wood ingrain in the actual curves and warps of the wood all shift to form the name. Cocks a bit of an eyebrow, looks up at you, and goes, "We could help, and if we learn anything about them, I think we may be able to help one another. We're doing a little bit of research. I am doing a little bit of research into this member."
Well, I'm staying, and I'm gonna do the same thing to stay where. Because if there's a person who's, I'm gonna do that so that she knows. So she knows.
Yeah.
Because they know with and who.
Can't you just
Yeah.
cast message? That seems way easier.
No, I
No.
can't.
She's not a spell slot.
No,
Message
message
is a
costs
cantrip.
nothing.
Oh, it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know it.
Don't you have an earring?
She doesn't have the other half of the earring.
You don't need it.
Just let
She
you
doesn't-
cast that.
Yeah, she doesn't need the earring. The
You know
earring
They're long
allows
distance
you
message.
to cast message.
I thought they were like walkie-talkies with us. My bad. No,
They
I'll
are
just do that.
walkie-talkies for long distance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just cast message and just ask her. Just in general, this whole little bit.
Yeah.
This is the person. This is where I'm staying. I would like help.
She says, if you need any help avoiding them, let us know. And if we find out any information about them, we can also... She sort of pauses. She says, if there's anything that you'd be willing to share as to why you're hiding, no pressure, of course. But if you do let us know, we may be able to help with this. I am trying to build a bit of a case here.
It is very personal, and I would not tell you lightly. So, honestly, I'd rather get to know you a little bit better. I mean, no, we almost just died together, and you didn't kill us, but like, it's kind of a big deal now.
I would be disappointed if the only thing that it took was for me to not try to kill you. So yes, if kind of pauses for a bit and she says, we can work together a bit more. And
Cool. I'm
hopefully-
gonna high five her. But I'm very tiny, so it's the worst high five.
She just sort of holds up a finger, lets you high five it, and shakes her head at you like, all right. She, for a moment, pauses and looks around and goes, actually, if you're all willing, there are some things that I could see about getting you extra work.
Can we help try to close the other rifts? Because there's other rifts, right?
She nods and says, Feywild Rift's closed. Shadowfell Rift is closed. Our rift is closed. Apparently we were the first, and we were the only ones to tear a hole. But the others have been dealt with. Big issue.
No, that's good.
Big issue will be dealing with the things that slipped through and haven't crawled their way back. We're not certain that every Fey and Shadowfell denizen has been dispatched with. No offense. Sort of nodding towards you, seeing that you're clearly a Fey as well, and like talking about dispensing with the others. Hey. Not a fan either?
No.
Good.
Those bastards shrunk us down and we had to fight a dragon.
Yes, Yotev has mixed feelings about Faye. Yotev lost voice before, lost name before. It was very complicated to communicate.
We got it back.
We did, yes. It's still, you don't know what it's like to lose your name.
You are the
Do you?
one.
Do you?
What's wrong with Tina Fey?
I might.
Oh.
You all have a lot of experience with Faye then?
Oh, we travel around with her.
You see Bo kind of, every time she picks up a new piece of information, there's a moment of her like reevaluating you all as a group and then storing that information away in like you can almost see like the little Bo going through filing cabinets and adding information on you guys as you go. She's got
Why the fuck are they traveling together?
Yeah.
Happenstance.
Is there
Who got us kicked out of the brigade?
We're not kicked out of the brigade.
Well, I know we came back, but who originally got us kicked out of the brigade?
Like 4 of us that got
I
us
think
kicked
it
out of the
was
brigade
you
combined.
and Kenji and
It was
me.
Versailles at the
Versailles
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was.
Persai, Yotev, Varnax, and then a little bit of Killian.
Yeah, it was you 4. Because I think
It was
that
us four.
what it was is you guys were like speculating on. Well, if we
We
were
were
to
making
murder someone-
semantics. We were trying to.
And the entire time, Tyrion, who does not, he's not the wisest of people, but even he could see all the HR violations that you guys were
Yeah, it was
spawning.
I forget his
HR
name.
violations.
Yeah, it was the one who like managed everything. It wasn't because it wasn't Tyrion.
With Lawrence.
Lawrence was like, you know what? I think we're good.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we're fine. During these conversations that Cassandra is having with Bo, Yotev is going to start actually. He's going to take the thieves' tools that he has from Bo, and he's going to use them to create a quick set of smith's tools in front of him, using his the right tool for the job. And in doing so, he's gonna start kind of working on some of his armor, and like he's gonna be disassembling it.
How long does it take to tune?
It takes a
Wow.
short rest. So all of you guys that were in here doing that, you can have attuned to your items. And honestly, over the course of this conversation, anyone who would like to have attuned can also do that. And you can roll hit dice and take that short rest.
You
Yotev is
have to take
specifically.
a short rest to unattune to another item because I'm fully attuned right now.
I think
Jesus.
that you can swap as a part of the attuning process.
Okay,
Gotcha.
sorry.
Yotev is specifically disassembling the weapons and things like all of his circuitry and stuff from his current set of armor. To have that, and he's also kind of, if allowed, he's removing like the infusion from his crossbow as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just doing
Yeah.
a bunch of work there at the table.
Yeah, he's doing a bunch of work at the table, disassembling things.
I imagine if
tinkering.
you were part of the short rest squad, you could have been doing some of this during that.
Yeah,
short
he's been
rest.
working on it periodically as we've been going. And Yotev's gonna turn to the group. Yotev has not been in Diastock long. We passed through before, Killian, just briefly. We were here for a little while. But Bo, you live in Zadash, correct?
More or less.
More or less. Do you know any good armor smiths in this area? Specifically, any that might sell a half plate?
Well, actually, there's the Hearth of the Allhammer just across the street. That's
Right over there.
that's and you would know because there's a massive temple to the Allhammer in your home as well.
Yes. Yes.
There is it is a temple to the god of the forge, and so a lot of people there may have the ability to craft or invent, much like yourself. So if you're looking for people like that, that's a good place to start. But she'll also bring up there's a Sparkhammer Smithing on the south side of the Penta Market. Yannick would be able to help you. In fact, if you're looking for things your size, that's what he specializes in as well.
Oh, really? Perfect. But do say, which of these seems more cost-effective?
Spark Gamer.
Probably Sparkhammer.
Spark.
The Moradin folks are often they're good people, but they're often trying new things, and if it's experimental, they'll want either more money because it's proprietary technology,
All right, of course,
or
of course.
they'll want they may even offer you a discount, but they'll insist that you bring some information or field statistics for it. And she sort of says that, she looks you over and goes, which actually they may want your expertise on. So if you really want a good deal, you could try that.
You'll like them, Yotev. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, you think? Well,
You've nerd out
Yotev will give
together.
it a shot, but Yotev is a bit. We did just get paid, but half plate is very expensive indeed, so might be strapped for cash.
Well, your friends mentioned you were hired by someone to go check out that warehouse. Maybe you get paid again.
Oh, that's right. Do you think they would pay Yotev as well for helping?
Kind of shrugs, like, no idea.
I mean, you're
This is
part of
also
our
a group, a question to the group.
You're part of our group, so there's not a reason they wouldn't.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. We should definitely go seek out our pay firstly.
Are you good?
No.
Jesus.
And
Slow down.
additionally,
Mhm.
Because Yotev and Killian were here once before, Yotev likes to keep tabs on different places that would have knowledge. So specifically, like a library, like libraries. Are there any like major libraries that have like a lot of old books in the area?
Why, yes, there are two really big ones. The first is the Archive of the Cobalt Soul. The Cobalt Soul, on top of just being a bunch of monks that punch things in the face, are also collectors of knowledge and tomes and arcana, and their main thing is basically the spreading and sharing of information, which is a lot of the reason why when Cassandra had asked about the Cerberus Assembly, Bo had made a point that like they don't kind of mesh very well, because the Cerberus Assembly is all about hoarding and collecting and keeping information to themselves for their own personal benefit, and the Cobalt Soul is all about an altruistic approach to education and an attempt to enlighten the masses and allow access. So that's one big one. The other one is one that Cassandra would be able to help you with more than anyone else, and that is the Hall of Erudition. That is the school within the city. She used to go there as a student, and that is also where Ormond Haas is in charge of. So that school has its own library as well.
Excellent. And Kenji, the folks you were talking to earlier, you said they were from Cobalt Soul?
No, they were from the. Wait for it. Pause, champ. Where the fuck did it go? They're on the Council of Taldore. On the
Council of Taldore.
Arcana Pansophical?
What the hell are they
Allura?
doing in Wildmount?
Do you react to this now?
Allura.
What? Tal'Dorei.
He wouldn't hear anything. That's the benefit, Lady Brittany. Oh, she's not listening to me anymore.
Both in game and out of game.
Yeah. Took her mic off.
Michael, clarifying question about his character.
Interesting. But yes, her and Lady Kima came. Lady Kima had a platinum dragon as her holy symbol. Although, and while this is all happening, okay, so some clarification since we've had some time to attune to the thing. My insect, or like my familiar, is currently on the inside of my head. So like I needed him out, so I've kind of like moved while we're talking. Like you can hear in your head, and I don't really need to be looking at you, but like I move my eye up and my like a little bit of my wood down, and the tines and stuff, the little like pest crawls out of it, like kind of like an oozy, but you could still tell that it's that thing, kind of like plops on the table while it's happening. And then in the same moment, as soon as it kind of like all hits, and then you know like when you like suction cup something and you like
Sure.
it liquid and it like sucks it back up into it. That's basically what happens to it as like an ooze into my eye. And it kind of like, you were the one who got the octopus eye before, right? Because your perception?
No. That was Aiden.
Oh, so then you'd see a little bit of that while that was happening. So they took a look at it and they agreed that because Puma didn't die, I guess like one of him died, but not the main one, and he turned into like a snow cone.
Right, they mark it dangerous though. Right.
They
Yeah.
the whole time that this is happening, she doesn't hear this conversation because it's all mental, but Bo is looking at you with a little bit of disgust and abject horror at the description you just gave of like
Amazing. Truly incredible.
what world.
Clarifying question: can the conversations to Kenji happen mentally both ways?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is then 100% happening fully
Just-
mentally.
just
As
looking at us.
Yotep is tinkering on his things, and Kenji's fiddling with his eye. They're
No.
having a full-fledged conversation.
No fucking words exchanged whatsoever. Just like an ooze pouring out of an eye, getting sucked back in
Bo's
while
just
he's
sort of-
working.
Bo's just sort of nursing a drink and then watches the whole disgusting ooze thing, and just like, fully upset at whatever the fuck that was.
Trying to
I know,
be like,
so
this is
If
why
if
I
the
don't really
ooze
like
gets
him,
close to
and
Yotev's
I don't
arm,
listen to him, and I block him out of my head so he can't talk to me.
So
if
then,
the ooze gets close to Yotev's armor, he's going to be like, hey, and, like verbally be like, hey, keep that away.
if it did, it was like for a brief second before it went back into my eye. But I'll open it up to Bo and just say the main one didn't, because I don't think I clarified that the main one didn't die, right? Or I did.
You
started
did.
to, yeah.
You said
To
something
all of
about
them?
it wasn't Prime.
She had asked about she got clarification.
Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect. Then we don't even need to open it up to her. But yeah, so yeah, so they said to keep it kind of not like, don't go around parading it, but like I talked to it earlier, and
Talk to it.
like it like sent me images, and it feels kind of scared, like it doesn't want to go back to where it was. But it's my friend, so I told it I'm not gonna put it somewhere where it's gonna get poked or prodded, and I would keep it safe.
But have you figured out what it really is?
Not yet, but
Okay.
I mean, we don't need to force it to be anything. It can be whatever it wants.
We don't
All I
need
know-
to figure out
all I know-
that. We don't need
yeah.
to make it be anything.
All I
Well,
know is it's my friend, and I'm gonna keep it safe.
Are any more of those creatures that kept coming out after it going to be still chasing us? Bo, do you know what they were?
No, not in the slightest. Though I was able to extract certain aspects from them. I'll hopefully be able to do some sort of research with the soul once I get back.
Yotev may join you for doing research on the soul, if allowed. Yes.
Absolutely.
And then to Kenji, in this window telepathically, Yotev grows concerned about the possible dangers that your friend could react to being in this plane. So, I know Yotev knows that you had promised your friend not to poke and prod at it anymore, but Yotev would like to try to figure out more about your friend, for their own safety and for the safety of everyone around us.
I mean, I'm sure I can ask it, but the last person that poked and prodded and went too deep died, and then they had to call in somebody to death ward the next person. So, I mean, I don't want you to die. You're my friend. It's my friend.
With Yotev's new invention and with some bit of intellectual mechanical engineering, Yotev might be able to figure out a way to not be as dead, but to be able to obtain more information about your friend. But we need to head to the library of the Cobalt Salt first.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to go talk to Aranus, right? Arenas?
Arenas.
Yes.
Arenas?
Arenas.
Yo, Kev, when you mentioned that you need to go to the library to Bo, I'm gonna be like, if there's nothing there, I can get you into the Hall of Erudition too. That's a different library. Yeah.
Perfect. Any and all information that we could have on celestial magic, the better off that we could be.
I know Aiden and I need to go back there some point, right? So you could go with us when we could do that.
Yes. Now, Yotev might be able to discern things about. This is publicly. About our new friend. But Yotev is not certain that he has the tools to be able to do it here.
Does our new friend have a name?
Kenji? Will do.
I haven't named him yet. I can ask him what he wants to be called.
Caleb?
Do you ask?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Can you talk to it while it's in the bag of holding?
Did
I
he put it in
didn't-
the bag? I didn't. He didn't put
It's
it in the
not
bag.
currently in the bag.
Okay.
It's in the bag, but not the bag of holding.
Yeah.
You ask for something to refer to it as, or a name that it goes by,
Mhm.
and no, this is good. This is a learning experience. I need
Oh, no.
a wisdom save from Kenji.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay. What's my wisdom? It was, 17 plus 1. I think it is. Wait, no, wisdom save? Oh,
Yes,
dude.
wisdom save.
17 plus 4 for 21.
So there are normal questions, and then there are questions that are pointedly unsafe. Not because the orb is maliciously attacking you, but rather you actually roll an insight check for me as well.
Oh, fuck yeah. 17, I think? Yeah, plus 1. 16 plus 1.
So you get the sense that this is not something, it is not attacking you with this information. It is simply opening up its mind to yours and allowing everything that it remembers to flood into your mind, and it is overwhelming. There are safe questions, things like, what do you want? How are you feeling? But to try to understand it brings danger. A 21 is a success.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gonna please take 8 points of psychic damage real quick.
Oh, goddamn.
And then here's what you learn.
Okay.
You feel waves of emotion and information hit you over and over again in rapid succession. And it feels very unrelenting. Like the moment that one wave washes over you, you're immediately hit with the next, to the point where you're not able to fully recover before receiving the next wave of information, which causes it to be fragmented and confusing.
Okay.
But this is the sentiment that you get is this entity does not have a name, but you were hit with waves of terms and titles and other forms of identification that other creatures have placed on it. It is not a name that originates from itself, and it is not this entity's true name, but rather other things this entity remembers being referred to as, vaguely put, a seed or a spark or a something along those lines. There's a bunch of like waves of, there's different languages and different elements, but all of them seem to resemble that similar structure of describing it. It normally is described as a spark or a seed.
I'm going to take out my book.
Uh-huh.
Does Kenji relay that?
Well, you would probably see my eyes kind of twitch and maybe a
I'm
little
gonna do
bit.
Discord because I don't trust my ability to send things in Foundry, if I'm being honest.
That's fair.
What are we sending?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, cool. For now, can I call? We need to work on maybe like not. You're a lot more powerful than I am, so I feel like we need to maybe we need to slow it down a little bit, and we need to work on that. But are you okay if I call you Sparkling?
It seems indifferent yet dissatisfied.
I'm not gonna call it. If you want Sparky, I'm not giving you Sparky.
No, that is
Oh,
not.
okay.
That's not me hinting towards it. It is more like it is it does not care what you call it, but it does feel dissatisfied with the name, as if it is still trying to, with the
Identify
insight
itself.
check, yeah, with the insight check that you got, it feels like it's still trying to find a name for itself, and so it does not care what you call it, but it knows that it's not going to stick with that name. It does not feel satisfied with that as the identifying name for it.
All right. Well, as we work on not coming at me with a lot of information, we'll call you this, and when we figure out your real name, then we'll change your name to it. Whatever you want. It doesn't, and then I'll relay that they don't have like he doesn't really have a name. He knows other people have called it like a seed or like a spark, but
okay,
that's not like its name. So it's still working on that. But I figured I would cross up between like a seed and a spark, and I figured we could call it a sparkling, but that probably... He might not... we would change it. It's a work in progress. Work in progress.
Yes, everything is work in progress. Everything has a starting name, you know. Okay.
About a seed or a spark, that they both become something much bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know who called them that, but if they had any insight onto what this thing is, then I think that's something we need to keep in mind.
Just to
we
clarify,
have to see how it grows.
Just to clarify, during the fight, they talked in deep speech, and did they call it a spark? I think that I remember that they did. Or it was the seed. It was one of those things that you had put.
Michael is looking at his note.
I don't think I heard that.
That's something we'll have to look at the VOD for.
I love you, Caleb, so much. You're my favorite
Yeah.
person in the world. After Michael and maybe Michael.
You think you one-up me with my terrible note-taking, but you know what? I've got VODs to pour through. Exactly. Yeah, that's why. You think I do this for the people? You gotta be kidding yourself. It's all for me.
And I think additionally, Yotev just like trying to get a firm understanding of like the things that have happened, is having Kenji retell the story, or asking Kenji to retell the story of how Pumat died. And trying to see if there's any signs, like, because we know above board what type of magic and it's like damage it's doing, but Yotev doesn't know what kind of damage it's doing, and he needs to know that.
So would I, through reasonable deduction, now that I rolled an insight on what was happening here, and it wasn't trying to hurt me, it was just trying to be helpful in the sense that, like, give me the information that I asked for. So it opened up itself everything, and it showed me everything, and that's what hurt me, right? So when someone cast Identify, which was a divination magic to look into it, it said, okay, I'll give you everything.
Pretty much. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
As to what happened. And given the fact that you took psychic damage, it is not a stretch in any sense of the imagination that you would know exactly what probably ended up happening, especially since you saw blood trickle down his nose and then it went white as as his brain was
melted.
broken, turned to ice and started to melt instead of bleed.
Yeah. So I'll relay that to Yotev in the, like, when he died, like, my friend just wanted to help and give me the answer that I asked of it, but maybe it wasn't a safe answer because it knows a lot. So it hurt.
It hurt, like, mentally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe that's what happened to Pumat.
Overloading.
Because he cast Identify, basically asking what it was, and it wanted to help, and he couldn't handle it.
This is when Yotev starts hyperfixating and over-explaining word vomit of how magic works and the science behind it, of like the different reactions of things, and being like, oh, that sounds like psychic damage because it did these kind of factors. See, if it was radiant damage, this kind of thing would happen. But if it was cold damage and why he turned to ice, it could have been possibly this. But because of these side effects and what happened to you, it would definitely feel like it's this. I feel like his basic knowledge of how magic works, from that, I think that's a pretty easy deduction for him. With a passive intelligence investigation of 17.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned with Kenji, like Kenji felt a psychic resonance, felt that psychic shunt whenever he tried to open up. So it is super, like, with your knowledge of how this stuff works and the fact that Kenji literally experienced it, it's pretty easy to put two and two together and figure out that's probably the damage that you need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
Yosef's brain is the gears are grinding and churning as he is figuring out and plotting ways to organize the information that will be sent into someone if they try to ask it that kind of question. It's not like a check that he's trying to do right now. It's just like, this is the process that he's currently going through and figuring out. And he's like, if I do this, and eventually like this thing and this and this, okay. Let's tie up our loose ends. he's like ready to go.
All right.
Yeah.
Where to first? Unless anyone else has any last questions or comments or conversations you want to have.
I think the only other thing I would ask about while we're still here would be about the little planar compass thing that Bo had.
So pull it out. Say, these are mostly for divining nearby portals or extraplanar magics. Depending on where you are, it will point out the closest identifiable by the coloration. And it will lead you or point in the direction of that portal. Handy for the situation we found ourselves in, but she kind of holds it up now, and it doesn't seem to react at all. And she says, nothing within a mile at least. Puts it back down.
How difficult is it to obtain those?
Honestly, we had a guy at the Cobalt Soul whip these up and for us. It took him 2 weeks to make about a dozen.
I'd be interested in meeting him if he knows how to make these. Maybe he knows something about why the rifts are opening too.
We consulted with him about the rifts as well. He had extra information about what we would find on the other sides and elements like that. And he is performing research, but as far as I'm aware, he hasn't come up with anything. That being said, she kind of looks out the window next to y'all, sees the position of the sun in the sky, and says, "And they go check in. They're gonna be expecting me back any minute now." She sort of stands up and nods to you all, puts down the gold to pay for the drinks that you guys have had this whole time, and says, if any of you need any assistance or want any help, she sort of directly points her attention to both Yotev and Aiden, who had both expressed interest in a little bit of research and knowledge sharing. And to you as well, Cassandra. If any of you need any help or assistance, just let us know. And should you be looking for more work, the Soul always has some.
I know where that is, even though I haven't actually been there myself with the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she nods and says, and thank you all again.
Thank you. We wouldn't have made it out to
Thank
that
you.
without you.
I know we started off
Pleasure
on
meeting
the wrong foot, but
You'd be surprised how many
You're
times
good
I've
enough.
made friends with someone I've threatened.
You're good in the fight.
You'd have like
Uh,
your style.
Uh,
Go on
and
now,
she
shoot.
will leave.
So we have to go see. some-
Aranus.
Yeah, let's go there. Then.
Arenas.
Y'all head to the sleight of hand.
We're gonna go check on that Uranus.
What?
Dad, no.
The fuck?
You make your way to the sleight of hand. You are met once again by that red-headed human woman with a streak of black in her hair. The sort of bouncer that Varnex kind of bowed up to a little bit, and she bowed back. And as you walk in, Arenas is fully standing on the balcony looking down, and sort of calls down, "Ah, adventurers, welcome back. I've been waiting for you. Hope everything went all right."
We got rid of your problem.
We almost died.
Wow.
Bad time.
I've heard that there may have been some slight structural damage.
I don't think it had anything to do with us.
Well, you've knocked away some of my competition in the area, so thank you, I suppose. Would you care to come up here?
Yes? Huh?
It means that you are still friends of mine. If you'd like to come up and join me for a drink. He turns around and enters into his sitting area.
Yota will never say no to drink.
Your
A pleasure to be meeting you, by the way, Yota Ironsnerve.
Arenas. You see, he is a full peacock of a man, blue, purple, and green feathers, a sort of sharpened beak and taloned hands, a pair of massive wings off behind him, and a full plumage of the male peacock feathers. And he sort of sits down in a very lush thing. You see, he's got a ring on every finger. And now that Killian has the highest passive perception, both Killian and Aiden, you both notice that on the rings, each one has a letter, and it spells out bougie bird.
Oh my god.
It absolutely does.
Oh my god. Please.
How about it?
And he, as he sort of sits there and welcomes you into his space, he goes, the bad news is that the area around the shop may have some structural damage, but the good news is that wherever this earthquake went off at, it seemed to have missed my block, which I'm very grateful for, if you did that intentionally. And if you didn't, well, I don't know, take credit for it. It's better for you.
Of course we did.
I like
Planned it all along.
I'm just gonna shake my head disappointedly.
He he says, now, I believe that our deal was for some information, is that right? He kind of looks over toward you, Yotev, and says, but then again, I believe you're the one they were looking for.
Oh, you were looking for information for Yotev.
Yes.
Well, if you were offering information about Yotev's whereabouts, you must know about who it was that had taken me in the first place.
I'm familiar.
We
If you'd like
may
some more
not
information.
want the information. We may want payment now. I'm whispering to Yotev as quietly as possible.
I mean,
I'm happy to go either way.
I don't care. What do you guys want to do?
well, we still have to get all of Yotev's stuff, and Yotev doesn't really know where he was. So, I mean, it'd still be useful for that part of it, right? I mean,
Listen, I'm not
obviously, we
here
have
to.
to find the person.
I'm not here to shortchange anybody. I have no idea where your friend was being held. I did have information on the group that was holding him, and some extra information about where you may be able to find their headquarters if you want to. If you're interested in hunting that down, I can still provide that information. But seeing as you've completed your end of the bargain and toppled some of my adversaries in the area, I feel that both can be arranged. Here's my proposition. I'll pay you for the job, and then I'll give you the option. If the payment wasn't enough, you can have more and be on your way. Or you can choose to take the payment I offer and get some extra information on the side. You see the pay first and decide whether you want more money or if you want some info. How does that sound?
Yotev is listening.
Good.
Yes, you were here.
He stands up.
Yotev leads the charge, man.
You like, sir.
It's like he never left.
He goes to the back, and you watch as he sort of takes a wall panel, pushes it to the side, and fiddles with a combination lock, sort of purposefully having the angle of the sliding door blocking the vision from the rest of you as he turns. As it opens, it is a thick, like 6-inch wall or 6-inch safe door that he then opens and reaches in. He pulls out and throws 2 bags in front of you, closes, and then reseals.
I'll snatch him up.
Yeah, as he sits down, he goes to mess with the bags, but as you snatch them up, inside is enough for all 6 of you to get 75 more platinum.
Oh, damn.
Jesus.
Additionally, in the second bag are extra things that might be found useful. There's a diamond worth 300 gold, and there's diamond dust worth 200 gold. So an extra 500 gold of diamond on the side.
Is there a reason, like out of here, is there a reason why part of it is as a diamond and part of it is as a diamond dust? Does it matter?
Cantrips and spells.
It is, yeah, it's because of different spells using those for components. So there are certain spells that will require diamond dust, i.e. I think Greater Restoration is diamond dust.
I think so.
So that's sort of the idea is if you want to resurrect, use the full diamond. If you want like a different spell effect, you can use the diamond dust instead.
I'm gonna throw the bag with the diamond and the diamond dust to Kenji and say, hang on to that. I'll divvy out the plat. No, actually, I'll wait till we're done. So, because that's rude to count your money.
I'll say, or Arenas will mention, you've got your gold, you've got your reward. If you'd like some more coin, I can throw another 25 to each of you, and we can call it a day. Or I can give you information on this group, whichever you prefer.
I think personally, because it's the group that is particularly hunting Yotev should decide, because if part of getting the information is us also getting his stuff, is your stuff worth 25 platinum, or would that 25 platinum help to just replace what you lost?
Yotev's belongings are priceless.
I wasn't trying to be rude. It was just
No.
a legitimate question.
This is Yotev's legitimate answer. Especially for where Yotev believes that they have gone, or who they're going to. They are invaluable to him.
Is everybody okay with just getting the information to help hopefully try to get Yotev's stuff back then?
Sure. Because maybe we can kill some more of them.
Yes.
We'll always get more money out of it out later.
I don't really want to kill more people, but I would like to get Yotev's stuff.
Cassandra, you're going to have to get on board with killing.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm good. I'm not gonna change who I am. That's not how.
We've done nothing but kill things. And you've participated, Miss Moonbeam.
Yeah, but when my life is in danger and I am protecting my friends and myself, I don't.
They
like,
kidnapped
actively
This conversation can
kill
happen
people.
later.
They kidnapped him, protecting him. Kill him.
Yutav apologizes for everyone's little squabble. Please, if you would.
I think we should probably consider the information. They still have the bounty on Yotov. They're still going to try to come after him. Any information we can have is going to help us in the long run.
Thank you.
Does Fragan have an opinion before we? I mean, just so that everybody. Right.
Kenji or Killian?
Nope.
Killian already said he wanted your stuff back.
Cool.
I just didn't want everybody not to have an opinion.
The group that you're asking about is the Ivory Claw, led by a dragonborn by the name of Etchith.
We already knew that. We already got that information.
He didn't provide you that information, so he's not aware that you know that.
Who gave us that information? I thought
I want to say that was Diastock with Samsonite.
Hang on. No, it was when we got here because I specifically was asking a shitload of questions because I wanted to see if it was the.
Oh, it was probably Bo.
Yeah,
during
it was
the standoff.
Yeah.
What was the name of the Dragonborn again?
Etchith, which is ECHITH. Etchith. Resides in the city of Shady Creek Run.
Yep.
His fingers form he allegedly is a worshipper of the dread tyrant herself. Should you find yourself in Shady Creek, I'd highly recommend avoiding unless you've got a good plan. That being said, I might have some lead in that.
Just a quick clarifying question.
Yes.
Do you happen to know what color Dragonborn he is?
White.
We are all marked. So he's a white Dragonborn.
That's correct. I believe that's the icon. Yes, I believe that's the point of the ivory part of the claw.
Does he happen to wear armor with any particular markings on it?
I know that he has his own insignia on it, the ivory claw. Beyond that, I'm not entirely sure.
Wouldn't be like dried blood.
Uncertain. I will say, I do know that he has connections to one of the families. There are 4 main families within Shady Creek that all sort of fight with one another for their ill-gotten goods.
I'm gonna do a quick mental note. This is straight to Kenji. I'll type it out.
He elaborates and says that the Ivory Claw is a extension of the Mardoon family, one of the 4. And if you're wishing to go up against them, it may behoove you to strike up a deal with one of the other 3. If any of them were to get wind that you're trying to mark a blow against the Mardoons, they themselves won't get their hands dirty, but they probably wouldn't mind supplying you with goods and items to go after them, as they would have a vested interest in your success. Any blow against the Mardoons is a success for the other 3. And if you just so happen to need an inn, I would know a guy.
Dad.
Excuse me. Taco Bell, man. I told you.
Who is your contact?
I happen to be friends with a Zorka Trebane, daughter of Lord Darko Trebane. I can copy these names over, by the way. Zorka and Lord Darko.
What did you say? The Mordoon family?
Yes, the Mordoons, which is Mardoon, Mardoon. I mispronounced that. That's on me.
Oh, good.
The Trebanes are an interesting lot, but one of my compatriots just so happens to have a vested interest in the city of Malayasmere, and the Trebanes just ever so love their little trinkets from that city. So while we were there and doing our best to investigate the place, I may have swiped a thing or two, sold them off to his daughter, and Zorka got to be a bit of a hero to her father, and I got rich for it. For some. Part of the reason I got rich. Other reasons as well, of course. Diversification. Step one. But, should you wish to reach out to her, I can assist in getting that, getting you an audience with her. Hopefully she can get you an audience with her father. And her father can help in roundabout ways with your little problem with the Mardoon's pet in the Ivory Claw.
So which family do you think we should work with? I mean, you're saying there's 4 families and you know 2 of them, and
I am saying that I have a very close tie with the Trebanes. The Mardoons are the ones that your friends, sort of gesturing towards Yotev, work with. So you guys work with the Trebanes against the Mardoons.
yeah.
Yeah.
I misunderstood that whole thing. Sorry.
No worries. Happy to repeat it.
I was
Mardoons. Good guys, Trebane.
I thought that the Mardoons were who were going to help us.
This is not good versus bad.
Listen,
Okay,
This is
the
but-
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
yeah.
You're wrong.
The enemy of my enemy just so happens to be rich and willing to pay me a lot of money to go deal with the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, we have a vendetta against
Other guy.
the one that's being we want to be paid for. So
You got more than that.
It's a win-win.
it is.
You got more than that. Look at what well, you don't know what I said to Kenji.
I'm gonna type this out. This is secret stuff I'm gonna tell only Kenji. Well, yeah, but we also have. Oh wait, never mind.
That's right.
I think
whisper,
you
Isaac.
did. I don't think you whispered it.
Well, no, I didn't whisper it. I put it in the chat just so I didn't have to interrupt while he was talking.
Yes.
No, I know,
But yes,
but I
that
think
was
we
to
can all
Kenji.
see it in the thing, just so.
Don't ruin it.
Surprise.
I love that we all looked because Michael did too.
It's all good.
I had already been on there and I
Yeah,
saw it
already
pop
knew
up.
that.
So
Or I knew that without looking at it. So
That's fine.
So, if you're interested, he takes off one of his rings, and as he does, the appearance of it actually changes. It looks as though he has it's almost like he twists the top of it, and one of the E's in bougie turns back into just a straight up diamond, and he hands it over to you. Specifically towards you, Yotev. give that to my dear Zorka, and she'll help you. She'll know what it means, of course. You'll have to fill her in on the details. But...
There's not going to really be a need to.
How do we make it turn back to? I'm just gonna like poke it.
A lot of
you poke at it. If you want to make an investigation check or just fiddle with it, you can.
Yo, Deb, can I play with it? See if I can change it back.
No, we're gonna put it. We're gonna put it in the bag of holding so it doesn't get lost.
Is important.
It's not a toy.
But I want to know how to change it. We can still put it in there.
Maybe later. Right now, we shouldn't play with it right now. Yotev is interested too, but
Okay, later.
he'll pass it off to Kenji to put it in the bag of holding.
Okay. I'm putting in a bougie ring.
Good.
Bougie ring that transformed into diamond.
Question mark?
With that, Arena says, there's not much else I can provide for you, but a contact and a name of the family hopefully is enough to prove to have been useful.
You said you knew where their headquarters was here in Zadash.
I do not. I know where it is in Shady Creek Run.
In Shady Creek Run.
How
That is very far north from here.
How many? Oh, sorry. How many of these ivory claws are there?
As far as I'm
Roughly.
aware, he keeps the number of fingers low. There's only 5 fingers, but each finger has their own right to go out and hire mercenaries on their behalf. 5
Cornex does some
lieutenants, if it helps.
math in his head.
It gives a new meaning to the term hired hands.
Good night, everybody.
Which one is the thumb?
Jeez. Damage.
You should repeat it because I don't think anyone heard you.
Oh, I heard him.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. It was great.
As you as you can sort of imagine, Varnex, the idea that this individual, Etchith, has decided to have 5 lieutenants beneath him is not
No, it's
a coincidence at all. He seems to very much like the theme and is sticking with it. And with that in mind, it
the
does
fact that
sort
he's
of-
open about it is
it sort of affirms the last couple of things that you needed to be like, this is for sure someone I need to go hunt down and kill.
Yeah.
Arenas will sort of gesture for if there's any last minute questions, or if you want another job, I'd be happy to provide something. I'm sure I could dig something up. You're quite resourceful.
we
He
got
works
that.
with Bo, yeah?
I doubt it.
No, I
Not
very
really.
much doubt it.
No.
Yeah.
You do realize that this guy is on the shady side of stuff,
This
right?
is the criminal underground
Yes.
of Zadash right now that we're in.
Yeah. We're meeting the
This
mob
is our
boss.
territory.
I run this
No, I
town.
didn't realize who we were going to. Absolutely not. I wasn't
No.
here when we met him.
The Cobalt people. Yeah, because you. Never mind. The Cobalt people are
Michael.
the goody two shoes.
Caleb, just out of curiosity, is there any way if I can discern if this peacock appearance is a facade?
Roll an investigation check.
I'm gonna tell you, it's not. I'm gonna just gonna
So
say.
good at these, I have a -1.
I think it's
So
gonna be
15 for a
good.
14.
For 14, it stands up to your scrutiny. You sort of try to peer to see if there's some sort of illusory effect or anything of the kind, and you don't seem to see anything now. Okay.
Oh, side question about how old does he appear to be?
Aarakocra don't live super long, so he definitely looks like he is uh equivalent to human years. He looks to be about in his 30s, but
Okay.
Aarakocra only lived to be about 30 years old, so he's probably like 14 or some bullshit in real life.
Yeah. But he's at like 30-year-old maturity
Yeah,
and like legality sakes of being Aarakocra.
yeah.
Okay. Mental note taken.
Are
I'm
we-
envisioning the bag of holding that Kenji has as like a little pouch about like this fucking big, right? Like it's
A
like
little coin purse.
it's like this because you know he's a little doll, so it's just hanging on his side.
Oh, I
For you
imagine he
guys,
put it
it's
in
a
his
satchel.
mouth.
Yeah, for you guys, it's like a satchel, not super big. For him, he like hooks it on as a backpack, and it takes up a little bit. It's a little bit bigger than he is. It's almost like having like a hiking backpack where it's super tall.
Oh
above
yeah,
you as
it's super
well.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah,
That makes sense.
twice the size.
Um, so
I want to start finding
there's-
stickers and like slapping them to his bag when he doesn't notice.
You have little ones for each city you're in, so like
Yeah,
yeah.
just start making.
Oh, we
little
have to go get this a dash pin before we leave.
If there's any other business you'd like to have, I'm more than open to it. But if not, I would say that we're concluded. Are we not?
I'm just gonna have one more last note for him. So,
Yeah.
nah, it's all right. It's all right. We can go.
Before we leave, Yotev would just like to formally thank you for guiding his friends towards Yotev.
I appreciate the thanks, but throwing adventurers at problems that I have is more of a selfish thing for me. I prefer if that doesn't get tainted with thank yous and you're welcomes.
Noted.
Do try not to get kidnapped again.
Yotev makes no promises.
He sort of, or he sort of gestures, and as you all go to leave, and you are left to the rest of the city. If there's any other loose ends you want to wrap up before taking a long rest?
What time is it? In-game?
Probably looking at. So you did an hour short rest. People did an hour of research, stuff like that. Took another bit over, so you're probably looking at about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5
Six.
o'clock, 6 o'clock. What time do
Yeah.
shops like stay open till? Yeah.
Most will close in the next hour or two. So you got plenty of time to go over, make some quick purchases if you want to.
Yeah. We just got. Oh, you divvied up the 75, right?
Yes, I did.
Ronak? Cool.
I
Just
didn't
making-
keep it.
No, I just wanted to
Hmm?
know that was a thing. Yeah, Yotev is gonna mosey on over to. He's gonna look to the group and say, Yotev is going to get himself an upgrade.
Do you want
And-
me to introduce you to the Spark Humor guy or the other guy?
Yotev was thinking of going to the Hearth of the Allhammer.
I can take you there.
Yeah, of course. Let's go.
Because
Uh,
I would know everybody that's in the Penta Market, right? Like all the major big shops.
Yeah, you know where all those things are, and like I mentioned, the Hearth of the Allhammer was quite literally right across the street from the Lodge of the Eclipse, where you guys were just at. So you make your way back towards the lodge, and you find a pretty sizable temple to the Allhammer. There is a large central forge with a beautiful heavy anvil with the symbol of the Allhammer etched into each of the sides. The anvil was it seems to be mostly ceremonial, as no one is currently working on it, but it is in a place of honor in this central section, and there are
Hmm.
about a dozen people milling around, either working on something with in a forge or tinkering something together. There's even a cobbler in the corner, so it's like it's not even has to be to metallurgic uh, attributes. It can be to any form of craftsmanship. Um, as you look around, there's a large selection of folks, but a um, uh, dwarven woman with dark brown hair that is sort of tied off into these three long braids that go well past her midsection. Um, Walks over to greet you all. She's wearing a chainmail robe, which is sort of like half uh, a uh, a piece of like this is something that I've made myself, but it's also sort of a religious aspect of it too, because this is something I crafted with my own hands. She makes her way over to you all and says, um, "Good afternoon. How can I help you all? Is there something I could guide you towards?"
Ah, yes. Yotev was looking to perou peruse your wares and goods before you close for the evening.
Of course. What sort of things are you looking for?
Um, Yotev has like a tiny little like he's pulls out his notebook and he has like a little shopping list of things that in particular that he's looking for a couple things that he wants to work on. Oh, nothing too crazy, nothing too out of place. Firstly, and primarily, Yotev is looking to see if you have any half plate armor in Yotev size, this size.
Half plate for sure. Your size may need to do a little bit of refitting, but we can make that work.
Yes, half plate
Uh,
specifically. Yes.
she takes you over to a half orc who has these massive gloves on and is sweating something like massive as he's been working probably all day, and as he uh, squelches the last thing he's been working on, he makes his way over to you, sort of cracks his knuckles and um, sort of approaches and says, "You said half plate, right?"
Oh yes, of course. By the way, from what he could see from the blade, he's gonna pass a compliment over to him and just be like, "Wonderful craftsmanship that you have going on over there."
Thank you. I appreciate it. He pulls out a set of half plate, and it is a little big. It would require some refitting. It's definitely fitted for more of like a dwarf, but is able to tighten some of the straps across the chest and bring together the front part of the plate and the back. He does have to sort of shape a little bit of the leather working interior to fit you better. But after about 10 minutes, it fits pretty well. It's snug, but it's still a little loose in some places. But that's something that you can't fix yourself on the
Yeah, that was gonna say how much like Yotev can probably fix some of this and fit it some more himself. This is very nice work. How much does this run for?
Normally about 750.
Normally about
But
750.
if you've got other stuff on that list, maybe we can chop that down a little.
Oh yes, of course. Yotev is an engineer of his own and looking for making some crafts of his own. And Yotev has things for sale as well to trade. But we could get to that later.
No, please bring it on.
Yes, Yotev is looking for a few components for a specific module that he's working on for himself.
Sure.
Mainly any sort of magical stabilizers, any sort of chargers for the primal elements: fire, lightning, cold, acid, thunder. If there's anything like that, bit of glass, a magic neutralizer. Of course, did I say glass? Glass, we need that. Labels. Yotev could probably finagle some of the input outputs, but if you have any, that would be great.
Sure.
Just a few things. It's a small list for a little project that Yotov is working on.
He sort of writes down the list that you've given to him. He starts to look somewhat over and calls over to the end. Goes, Arkin, gonna need you. And a tiefling with sort of yellowish orange skin, hair is closely shaven, but the horns are sort of start just above the temple and wrap around and end up at about the neck, as it's almost like this full ram's horn sort of a situation.
Right.
And he makes his way over and he takes the list from the half-orc, looks at it, and goes, I've got half of this in my stall. Do you need elemental battery charges?
Yes. Particularly components, things that you would use to normally imbue weapons with elemental damage, or enchant with them.
I don't have a lot anymore. They may run you a bit, if that's all right.
Yotov is price checking.
Sure. He'll go over and he'll collect a bunch of stuff into a box and bring it over for you to inspect. For the purposes of this, I'm aware of what most of this is for.
Yeah.
If you want to tell me how much gold you're spending on raw materials, then you can go ahead and purchase that, and you can say you've got like a smattering of everything. And then whenever you put them together, we'll make some checks about it. And how much it's actually going to cost is going to be dependent on how well you roll.
Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds great. So you say 750
of this, and then a box of raw materials, which will be however much you're willing to spend.
Okay. Pushing that aside, trying to get pricing down, Yotev is going to toss over a few things and seeing what you're willing to offer in return. These are Yotev's own creations, so these definitely have some fine craftsmanships in them. First and foremost, he's going to hand over his crossbow that he has crafted, and just try to get some pricing on that.
What kind of crossbow?
I believe it's just a regular. Let me just double check. It's the one from the Artificer default. So let me take a look at that really quick. That would be a light crossbow.
Light crossbow.
Yes.
All right.
That it? Cool. And with that crossbow, he's also going to throw in 19 bolts. He's used one. And
okay.
Do I want to get rid of that? He's not super using that right now. Where did that come from? Oh, that came from there. Okay, yes. He's also going to hand over a light hammer.
Okay.
And he will pass over. So that's that. I didn't realize I had that either. A hand axe that he has. He's basically selling a lot of things that are just on his person. He's getting rid of like just a lot of equipment. So we're gonna hand that over. We're gonna hand over a set of studded leather armor.
All right.
And then as well as
Point of order question. How much of this stuff was stuff that isn't on your person?
Most of this stuff is stuff that he's had in his bag, from things that were looted or from things that he had started with.
But we have to go get your stuff that's still missing. So what stuff are we getting that's missing?
That's a good question.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not trying to not let you sell stuff. Obviously,
no.
that has to happen. But like, do you actually have this on you
The
physically?
things, to my understanding of what we had discussed briefly last session, was that I basically had most of everything except for the things that were like incredibly valuable to me, like the blueprints, and
Your money.
bits and pieces, the money, the blueprints, and like parts of the actual armor, that like the gadgets that had been added to the armor that had been ripped out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've had to
I'm so sorry.
reconstruct
Because
those
I had to
gadgets,
reconstruct
which
stuff.
you did do.
Yeah.
And so you're back to full capacity in that sense. But the original designs were taken, as well as the blueprints to recreate them, which
Yes.
are, you imagine, going to go get sold to help lower your debt by just taking the whatever they can get for it.
Yeah.
And they're probably not going to charge very good prices because they don't know what they're dealing with.
Yes.
And then on top of that, anything that was just straight up cash or easy to sell, technically like the crossbow and the bolts are things that are easy to sell, but that's like, this is
It's chump
no
change.
offense, it's chump change. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the stuff, for example, the light crossbow, the bolt, the light hammer, the hand axe, and the studded leather, that is 39 gold total for all.
Yeah,
of that.
I imagine that the cloak of many fashions was taken. From
It probably wouldn't have. She would not have seen that as.
Oh,
She probably wouldn't have
Interesting.
guessed that was enchanted.
What that
She
was.
just would have seen that as a cloak, and just left that behind.
Cool. Yeah, so then most of the regular things then would have just like
Yeah,
I'll
the
existed.
mundane stuff, she's not going to be able to get a lot of money for, and so she probably would have just left it.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
the sake of carry the stuff that is the most valuable, which is your blueprints and your inventions.
And the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. No,
Nope,
that's
good
a
question.
perfectly valid question.
I was just like, how is he selling stuff if he doesn't have stuff?
I have some stuff, not all stuff. Most of the
Yes.
stuff was
I get it. Now. I'm sorry.
It's a very weird situation we did here. And then he's also going to sell the oh god, what is it? It is the retracting short sword that he had. The arm blade.
Arm blade.
And last but not least, he is also going to get rid of the scale mail that he was using as his baseline armor for a while, but he had also like removed all the gadgets from it during the short rest and stuff with his smith tools.
So that is that all of it? Before
I
start
believe
counting?
so. I believe so. I think that's everything. Yeah.
That is throwing in the extra stuff at the end. You've bumped it up to a total of 99 gold.
99 gold. Okay. And so that would be taken off. Now we got to do math.
Yeah, so you got 750, which is now
750.
750 or 651 plus however much you want to do of the raw materials.
Yes. Because I also have to figure out how much gold or how much platinum he would have left after taking that. So I'm sorry, could you give me that number one last time so I could subtract it?
651, which is 65 platinum and 1 gold.
1 gold.
Yeah.
Minus 65 platinum.
You should have 125.
Yes, I know. I'm just looking to see how much left. And that would leave him with a remainder of how much gold left? It was because it was 1 gold. It costs extra,
9
right?
platinum.
Yeah, so that's 9 gold from the... Each platinum is 10 gold. So if you did an extra platinum piece and took back 9 gold
yes.
pieces, there's your total.
And then take back 9 gold pieces. Okay. And then, Yotev is going to spend 20 plat on materials.
Okay. So 200 gold worth of materials.
Yes.
Got it. The
I'm
two
on
of them
materials.
sort of start. They're going through. They're like exchanging stuff, and they're doing calculations. And the three of you are like exchanging, and there's a little bit of haggling here and there on like prices, because I mean, at the very least, Arkham's like trying to bring up the stuff that he's got, the raw materials, and
Oh, yeah.
pointing out the fact that these are kind of useless until they're plugged in anyway. So I'm basically buying these materials off of you. You're making profit off of something that you just went out and bought yourself. And there's a lot of back and forth. And eventually you settle in on the amount that you pay, which ends up being 85 platinum pieces plus 1 gold. And then as all of that goes away, the three of you shake hands, and you all walk away with some fresh armor, fresh stuff.
All right, I gotta remove all these things now from my inventory and add in a half plate.
We are over by a little bit, but
Yeah.
since we did start late, I want to go very quickly. Does anyone else have anything they want to purchase real quick? Just materials for armor and shit like that. Armor, weapons. While you're here.
Do they have rings or anything? Anything enchanted?
No.
I can provide
I want
a
one of that
list.
too. I forgot.
For next week, because I don't have a list prepared for this place.
Sure.
Can you prepare what the Three Sisters would have as well? Because they sell stuff too, and I can bring them there.
Here's what we will do. So if you guys have anything else you'd like to do here, we can quickly do that purchases. We'll end with this. Cassandra, after guiding Yotev here, watching him go through this long process of going back and forth with this tiefling and half-orc and trying to figure out what a good price for everything would be, you all eventually begin to split up to go take yourselves a long rest. And the last thing that we'll end on is, Cassandra, when you go and you meet the Three Sisters, they hand you a familiar little package, a little square, that you recognize to be your tent that has now been upgraded. So if you would like, please add...
An item now. I said it's an item now.
Yes, it is an item now. I would think it's the fortune teller's...
Teller's tent, we got it.
Yep.
Just don't take the bag of holding into the tent.
Is that
So Kenji's not allowed in the tent.
Ooh, that is a good point.
That's a really
First
good
thing-
question that I would like to know, please.
Pretty sure that's how it would work.
Mark off another 200 gold off of that. So get to 20 platinum back
Okay.
for that shield.
Awesome.
You can tell me later. That is a point
For
of
what?
if the bag of holding can go inside my tent.
I based it off of a spell.
I don't think so. Because I can think of the spell that you did this off of, and I don't think it does.
I'm gonna rule that it is less fun if you have to go so far as to keep the bag of holding out every day, just to not blow yourselves up and drag you into an endless sea. So for this instance, those two items will not interact that way. despite the fact that they technically should. But based off of the wording of the spell, I don't think that the spell would proc it. Therefore, I will make the tent not proc it either.
Okay, so exception to the blowy uppy rule. Excellent. We will not die. Cool.
Unless you want to, in which case
That's the dream,
I
really.
can always make stuff happen.
No, good. I would find that super unfair with the intention of me asking for this to begin with. Not unfair, unfun. Unfair was the wrong word. I meant unfun.
So, with that, I'm going to have you all go ahead and take a nice long rest. And while you do, go ahead and level yourselves up to level 6.
Let's go!
Yeah!
If y'all have any questions about level ups, just let me know. Over the week, I'm happy to help. But we can go ahead and sign off and log out.
Cool.
Okay. I'll take care.
You want to go ahead and start, Lady B?
Yes, I am Lady Brittany. I stream on twitch.tv/lady_Brittany almost every day of the week, starting at noon EST. I play super cozy, comfy games, mostly Palea, because I'm a Palea partner, and it's a free MMO that has super exciting things coming in the very near future that I'm very happy for. And then we have my husband, Michael.
That's me. I'm playing Aiden in this campaign, and I am pretty much only on this channel. I don't stream outside of this. Occasionally, I am on Lady Brittany's stream, but not very often.
Dad.
I'm OEF5. I'm Lady B and Michael's father and father-in-law. I stream on Twitch, but I do live stream fishing, and it is cold in Indiana, so there's none of that going on right now. You can find me on Instagram at OEF5Outlaw. Thanks.
Ryan.
Hi, I'm researcher Ryan. I haven't streamed in several months, and I'm not related to either Lady B, Michael, or OEF. I've been playing Yotev Iron Snarf, and you've been watching Extravagant Casters. Draws D20 and magic wand.
Step.
Hello, I am Step Freak. You guys can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/stepfreak with 2 E's. I'm streaming Dragon at Home because World 3 just released, but I also got an updated internet connection, so Puzzle Nights will be coming back on Thursday, so keep an eye out for Puzzle Nights this Thursday coming up.
Nice.
You can also catch me at YouTube at Step Freak Plays.
Nice. You've already found me here. You can find me at twitch.tv/Fragenwagon and twitter.com/TheFragenwagon if you want some updates. We have faction-related announcements. What about you, Snooki?
I am so excited for Puzzle Nights to be back.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Wednesdays.
Sure, that too. I don't.
Wow.
Stream, but I play in another D&D game with Fragen. If you're interested in more D&D, you can check out Napoleon Dynamite on Twitch on Wednesday nights, and I will do my best not to die like Fragen did. At any rate, that's all I've got. If you guys want to stick around to do your inspiration stuff, I'm not sure if there's going to be one for this session, but we'll go ahead and do that. But not everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Come on.
And
Good night.